This is high school football on iTalk 106.7 and Sholo TV channel 56. Presented by Hatch Motor Company in Snowflake and Sholo. Hatch Motor Company, simply the best in service and sales. Produced by White Mountain Youth Productions in cooperation with Sholo TV and iTalk 106.7 Radio.
Time slips a tackle at the 35.
It's Miles. Going to try to get the outside. Makes a move there.
Looking left side. Falls wide open. Got it to 5. Touchdown.
High school football is also brought to you in part by Black Diamond Auto Glass, Northland Pioneer College, Ace Hardware of the White Mountains, Sunrise Park Resort, Honda Resort Casino, Horn Auto Center, and Beeler Orthodontics. And now, Hatch Motor Company and Snowflake and Sholo presents high school football.
Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to Snowflake High School for tonight's 106.7 Game of the Week. Punt Cooley, Mike Granillo here to bring you live high school football action. Should be a good one, as it is every year, Punt. The Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets and the Snowflake Lobos doing battle here. The Lobos playing host to the Jackets tonight. A couple of teams who have one loss between them. That was a 1-point loss Blue Ridge had last week against Payson. But as usual, records probably don't matter as much in this rivalry. You know, Blue Ridge, Sholo, and Snowflake have that I don't know what you call that, but three-way rivalry.
Yeah.
And it should be a fun one tonight.
That's a good way to describe it.
Okay.
Absolutely. You know, Blue Ridge, as you'd mentioned, Mike, 5-0 going into the game against Payson last week and come out just falling a little bit short with Payson actually scoring late in the fourth quarter to go ahead and another 1-point game. We've talked about those. That seems to be the norm this year for Blue Ridge. So a tough loss for Blue Ridge, and coming into Snowflake tonight, if I'm not mistaken, it's Snowflake's homecoming tonight as well. So they're going to have a huge turnout. Or the stands on the home side, Snowflake side, already filled up, pretty packed tonight. So it's definitely going to be an exciting game. These, as you say, records really don't matter when it comes up to these big mountain rivalries, and it's certainly going to be the case tonight.
Well, obviously both teams want to be at full strength for this one. Both teams like to run the ball, and so the battle in the trenches will be key. To hear more about what the Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets plan, and as we'll go down to Brandon Todd. Brandon had a chance to talk with the coaches before the game, and let's get his insight on that. Brandon?
Hey, thanks a lot, Mike. Yeah, you're right. I got a chance to speak with both coaches. Let's start with Coach K. Solomon of the Snowflake Lobos. I asked him, I said specifically, Coach, how is it getting the kids prepared and ready to play this game homecoming week versus a big opponent like the Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets? He said, you know what, we are pumped. The kids are more excited for this game than any game they have all year, which is understandable considering it's a homecoming game. I asked him about his offensive game plan tonight. He said, you know what, we used last week's game versus Page as a more of a practice, if you will. Not that they look past Page, but they tried to implement some new offense strategies for this game. They said during their game against Florence exposed some things that they think they needed to fix, and so they used last game to fix those, and they're going to try it out. One of those changes, if you will, is that the quarterback now has the ability to check out of a play at will if he sees the defense stunting or blitzing on a certain play. So look for the quarterback to take more charge on the Snowflake Lobos offense. Defensively, he said we just got to be tough and try to stop their run. He said number 5, Johnson, and we'll just stick with that one. He said we got to stop the running game to really have a chance. And he said Blue Ridge has shown that if they're close in a game, they feel like they have a chance. So what their plan is to jump out to a big early lead and keep their foot on the pedal. On the other side of the football, the Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets, I said, hey, Coach, I was talking to Coach Bob London of the Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets. I said, hey, you're coming off your first loss, another close game. Tell me about your practice. How was week? He said, you know what, we had the best practice we've had this week than any other week. He said, we definitely want to play spoilers tonight against Snowflake's homecoming. He said nothing new with them. They're just they've been practicing on perfecting what they do, and they think they're good at it. They think if they can just eliminate penalties and try to keep this a close game, they have a good chance of coming out on top tonight, Mike.
All right, thank you very much, Brandon. And as we look at a little bit more in depth into the Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets punt, as you mentioned, they come in with a 5-1 record. They started off the win. They've had 3 games already that were, 4 games within 2 points that have finished within 2 points. And we'll take a look at that. We got a break, though, with the national anthem coming up. You're listening to The pregame show on iTalk 106.7 and on the web at iTalk1067.com. We'll be right back.
Black Diamond Auto Glass provides the finest full-service mobile and in-shop glass repair services, from free chip repair to windshield replacement, tinting, and more. We're here to pamper you and your car.
Black Diamond Auto Glass. Yeah.
Don't let salmonella get funky with your chicken. On average, 1 in 6 Americans will get a foodborne illness this year. So learn the right temperature to cook each type of meat. Keep your family safe at foodsafety.gov.
Sunrise Park Resort is now open every Friday to Monday through Labor Day weekend. Bring the family for a full day of fun and activities, including scenic cliff rides, mountain biking and bike rentals, tube slide, airbag jump, and more. Book your reservation at the Sunrise Hotel with beautiful views of the lake and mountain, or rent a boat at the Sunrise Lake Marina. And make sure you visit our general store for all your camping and fishing needs. For more information, please call 928-735-7669 or visit our website at sunriseskipark.com.
Need a fireplace? Ace has that. Need barbecue grills? Ace has that. Need paint? Ace is the best place for that. Need a chainsaw or weed eater? Ace has that too. Ace can even fix your chainsaw and your weed eater. Ace Hardware has everything you need for your home improvement project. They even have a 24/7 locksmith. Locked out of your home or car, their mobile unit will come to you. That's your helpful place. Ace Hardware of the White Mountains in Pinetop, Overguard, and Show Low.
Orthodontist Dr. Joshua Beeler has been providing family-friendly orthodontics in Show Low and the entire White Mountains since 2006. If you need braces, stop in and see the friendly folks at Beeler Orthodontics and meet their professional staff. Dr. Beeler and his team have the latest in orthodontics technology, and they work with each patient individually to custom tailor the most effective treatment plan for the best results. Beeler Orthodontics is a proud sponsor of high school sports. Beeler Orthodontics, live to smile, love your smile.
School song, Camden.
I'm not on the
Welcome back to Snowflake High School and iTalk 106.7's Game of the Week between the Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets and the Snowflake Lobos. We are in the pregame show just a couple minutes away from opening kickoff. I want to thank Brown & Russo Insurance for sponsoring high school football. For all your insurance needs, auto, home, or business, visit the nearest Brown & Russo Insurance Agency with 4 locations in Show Low, Pinetop, Springerville, or Tempe. And let's get back to these teams, Punt. We want to talk about what the Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets game we talked about, coming in with 4 games decided by 2 points or less. They won 3 of those. Some low-scoring affairs, haven't put up a lot of points,
right.
Except for maybe the exception being the Coolidge game where they put up 35. What is the Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets' keys to tonight's contest?
Well, obviously, Mike, their running game is really key to them, as you had mentioned earlier. For Snowflake as well, they both teams like to run the football, but I think in the case of Blue Ridge, when you look at how they set up their offense and really the weapons they have, they rely heavily on their run game. So clearly the line play tonight is going to be really critical for the Yellow Jackets. They're not necessarily known for popping off big plays. I mean, occasionally that will happen, but they'd like to grind it out, and in the process, Blue Ridge, if they can get their running game going, not only will they be able to hopefully score points if in the coach's mind, but also keep that Snowflake offense off the field. And I think that's another really big key for Blue Ridge, is not to let that Snowflake offense on the field. It's going to wear down that Blue Ridge defense. Blue Ridge relatively undersized, I think, defensively, especially up front. So Blue Ridge's linebacker play tonight on defense, I think, is going to be really, really key, recognizing that Snowflake likes to run the ball. And when you look at Blue Ridge typically putting that 3-man front up there, I think it's going to really come down to some really solid linebacker play for the Jackets tonight as well. And then, of course, the turnovers, that's going to be another big key for Blue Ridge. If they can avoid the turnovers, that will allow their offense to operate hopefully a little bit longer in the game tonight from the Blue Ridge fans' perspective.
All right, that is the Ace Hardware keys to the game for the Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets. Ace Hardware has a 24/7 locksmith. The next time you're locked out of your car, just need a key replaced day or night, any night of the week, call Ace Hardware. Your helpful place with 3 locations in Pinetop, Overguard, and Show Low. And Punt, the Snowflake Lobos, are getting set to make their way onto the field, I'm sure to a thunderous applause. They come in with a 6-0 record. Unlike the Yellow Jackets, they have been able to put points on the board, averaging probably about 35 points a game, but have a 67-8 victory last week. And we heard Brandon Todd earlier talking about the adjustments coaches made in that Page game, and obviously it paid big dividends for them with a 67-point offensive output.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, and interesting, the Page game, of course, a blowout, but the game before that, the week before, they had a really tough battle with Florence, as did Blue Ridge as well. Blue Ridge going into double overtime in order to get their 1-point victory from Florence at Florence. But clearly, you know, Florence, a solid team this year, giving Snowflake fits the week before. So, you know, I think if you look at that, it all comes down to what the kind of the mental framework and the mental attitude of these respective teams are in terms of how this game's going to roll out tonight. You know, they can definitely battle each other, and they proved that in years past.
And speaking of the offense, it kind of all begins and ends with Tyler Claridge, their senior quarterback.
Yeah, very, very much the key leader. You know, he's put up just over 500 yards and total passing yards so far this season, just completing just under 50% of his passes, which isn't, you know, and as we had mentioned, the passing game is not necessarily the big item for this Lobo offense. If they had their preference, they'd like to run the ball, and they've got several key players there. Zach Solomon being the leading rusher, just over 400 yards so far this season, and then also Patterson, number 7. He's at 360 yards, just over 360 yards. So, you know, that's a decent average between those two backs. Solomon over 7 yards a carry, and Patterson close to 6 yards a carry. So you can see that they're pretty explosive. A lot of weapons for this Snowflake offense, and that's going to put a lot of pressure on this Blue Ridge defense tonight.
All right, thank you very much, Punt, for breaking down the Snowflake Lobos. That is the Snowflake Lobos Ace Hardware keys to the game. Again, 24-hour, 7-day-a-week locksmith. Next time you're locked out of your car, house, whatever time of the day, call Ace Hardware, your helpful place with 3 locations in Pine Top, Overguard, and Show Low. Well, that's going to do it here for the Hatch Motor Company pregame show. When we come back, opening kickoff here between the Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets and the Snowflake Lobos. We'll be back right after this.
There's no better time to visit Horn Auto Center. Check out the all-new Chevy Silverado. Voted 2014 North American Truck of the Year. Strong for all the roads ahead. Or find new roads with the all-new Corvette Stingray. Voted the 2014 North American Car of the Year. Visit Horn Auto Center on the Deuce of Clubs in Show Low across from Safeway and at hornauto.com. You're at home with Horn since 1991.
In today's challenging economy, having a college education is a must. Northland Pioneer College is here to help you prepare for your future. NPC is committed to providing you with the highest quality education with the lowest tuition cost in the state. We offer a variety of advanced learning classes to prepare you for a transfer or associate's degree, personal interest education, or earning your GED.
Contact an academic advisor for more information. Go online at npc.edu.
Hi folks, Gentry Hatch here. Let's face it, in today's world, there are a lot of tools out there to help you buy a car. An iPhone, Kelly Blue Book, the list goes on and on.com. At Hatch Motor Company in Snowflake and Show Low, we know that you can and will find the best deal for you. We will even help you find it if you don't happen to have a smartphone, which I believe everybody does. Remember, no hassle, no pressure, simply the best in service and sales. Hatch Motor Company in Snowflake and in Show Low, and online all the time at hatchmotorco.com.
Welcome back to Snowflake High School as we are just about ready for kickoff as the Yellow Jackets have come onto the field. You know, I totally missed, Punt, who won the toss. tonight.
I believe Snowflake won the toss and deferred, so they'll kick off to Blue Ridge to start the game, kicking from left to right. A little bit of a breeze actually blowing in favor of Snowflake on this kickoff.
Have some information from our sideline reporter, Brandon Todd. We'll go to him in just a moment. This game is brought to you by Hatch Motor Company in Snowflake and Sholo on iTalk, and simply the best in service and sales. We are set for the Northland Pioneer College kickoff. Snowflake to kick off, Wilkening to receive, but it's a short kick. Taken at the 25, fumbled. Now up to across the 30 to the 34, 35. Host brought down by a host of Lobos. Jackets, though, will start with pretty good field position.
That's
on the reception that time was Luis Rosales.
No, I think that's Nick Jones, number 16.
Oh, excuse me, 16, not 19.
Yep.
So Nick Jones didn't look too comfortable taking the kickoff, but got positive yards, and the Jackets will start 1st and 10 from their own 35-yard line. Wilkening to do the quarterbacking duties for the Jackets, the junior. I-backs behind him. Tight end to the right side. Give to the deep man. That's Tristan Johnson in the backfield. He's hit. Just about gets back to the line of scrimmage, but a great pursuit by the Snowflake Lobos. They had about 9 guys in the backfield.
Well, it looks like they were doing a trap, trying to do a trap. Blue Ridge off that right tackle, but credit the line play for the Lobos just jamming up that gap, and the linebackers also filling gaps and forcing about a 1-yard loss, as you say, Mike.
It is a 1-yard loss. It'll bring up 2nd down and 11. Jackets huddling about 15 yards deep as they break the huddle. Senior center Nick Baker to the ball first. Wilkening goes back under center, has his man split here to the near sideline. I-backs behind him, give to the deep man again, trying left side. This time Johnson gets positive yards across the 35 to the 37, pickup of 3, but it's going to put the Jackets in a tough situation in 3rd and 8. Not a situation they probably want to have on their first series.
Yeah, that's a tough start. You know, that's just straightaway dive off that left side and mano a mano up front on the line. And as we had mentioned at the top of the game, Mike, that's going to be the key for Blue Ridge tonight, is to get that to dominate the line of scrimmage, given the fact that they really prefer to run the ball.
Wilkening. Long snap count. Adler, the near receiver, looking left, throwing left, throws with that left hand, and it's almost caught. Great play attempt by Lane Penrod, but it falls incomplete. Wouldn't have quite had enough for the first down as Wilkening put a little air under that. Let's go down to our sideline reporter, Brandon Todd, who's got some comments about Lane Penrod.
Well,
sorry about that, Brandon. I hit the wrong button, so we'll come back to you in a minute. As the punt is away, fielded at the 29-yard line, now fumbled at the 30, and he'll have to take it down there. Good punt by Timmy Entrican for the Jackets, and we're going to go back down to Brandon Todd and get those comments about Lane Penrod. Brandon?
All right, we'll try this again, Mike. Thanks. Yeah,
you're on now.
I appreciate it. I had a chance to speak with Coach Solomon about Lane Penrod. And because, interesting enough, Penrod was actually a Snowflake Lobo last year. Now, that was under a different head coach, but they do some of the things the same as last year. So they had to tweak a few things for this game because of Lane Penrod. Mike?
All right, thank you very much, Brandon. And as the Lobos begin their first possession from the 34, give it up the middle. Solomon, the ball carrier. And he takes his big frame and picks up 4 on first down. Zach Solomon, the 5'11", 186-pound junior. They're going to give him 4, bring up 2nd down and 6 for the Lobos.
Vince Friot, the nose guard for Blue Ridge, in on the tackle, along with Coy London on the assist, that outside linebacker. But as you say, not after gaining a good 4 yards on that carry.
Lobos spread it out with trips left, 1 receiver to the right side. Claridge takes a snap, give to the first man through. That's Solomon. He lowers his shoulder and meets big number 74 for the Jackets. But he does have a 6-yard pickup and a Horn Auto Center first down. Ryan Eccles on the tackle for Blue Ridge.
And again, those are defensive ends, defensive tackles for Blue Ridge, making the tackles 5 yards, 6 yards deep. And as we noted, that's going to be a real key for Blue Ridge in this game, is to play tough up front, and that includes the linebackers.
Same formation for the Lobos. Claridge wants to throw this time, and it's thrown out and short. Might have thrown that one low on purpose. Pass intended for Alex Patterson, but one of the defensive backs for the Jackets was closing in fast. And
that's John Crow, number 34, reading that pass very well and coming up quick. And as you say, Mike, perhaps intentionally grounding it, seeing the defensive back come up quick on that pass.
So the incomplete pass will stop the clock with 9 minutes and 22 seconds. No score. 2nd down and 10 for the Lobos. Again, same formation. Claridge in the shotgun. Solomon to his left. Fake to him. Throw that pass, and it's complete. Oh, big hit by Lane Penrod, but not before Richard Baird hauls in a reception. Good for 5. Up to the 47-yard line, 48-yard line. Lobos continuing to march. They'll be faced a 3rd and short.
Well, just a nice quick slant route by Baird and a quick pass to get the ball to him, but Lane Penrod from his middle linebacker position lays a big hit.
So everybody's in tight for the Lobos. Give to the deep man. I believe that was Patterson, excuse me. It was Patterson, and he's not going to quite have enough yardage for the first down marker. Just shy of midfield. Pickup of just 1. It's going to set up 4th and 2. And Snowflake on their first possession here. It'll be interesting to see if they decide to punt this away or not.
Yeah, on that particular play, Snowflake likes to fill those holes with a lot of guys as lead blockers, and that time Blue Ridge up front able to stand tough and limit the gain to bring up the 4th down. So Blue Ridge now with a 4-man front.
And they load up 3 backs in the backfield. Claridge will stay in the shotgun. He's going to run behind those 3 backs, and he didn't get it. He looked like he went away from his 3 blockers, and Claridge stopped short. No gain on the play. Eccles, the lead man there for the Yellow Jackets, and the Lobos will turn it over on downs. Jackets will have it in Snowflake territory at the 49.
Excellent defensive stand by the Jackets. That's that bunch formation, that stack formation we talked about and we've seen in other games where they blow it straight ahead with a double wedge on that right side. But Blue Ridge moving their linebackers, as you say, and filling the gaps well on that play.
Again, Alder here to the near sideline. Double 2 receivers left to the right. Bring Jones in motion. Give to the deep man. That's Lane Penrod. Only back in the backfield. He has 3 yards forward progress. Up to the 46 of the Lobos. A little different, a little better first down yardage in the last series for the Jackets.
Yep, just a straight ahead trap play off that left side, but opening up a decent hole at the line of scrimmage for Penrod, and he just scrambles away into that 2nd level to get a good gain for the Jackets.
Jackets send Entrican and Jones wide right. Johnson and Alder wide left. Wilkeny goes to the shotgun. Penrod's in the backfield with him to his right. Takes a snap, looking to throw. Left-handed, over the middle, complete. Tristan Johnson inside the 30, makes a man miss there. Fumbles the ball at the 20, and it's going to be recovered by the Lobos at the 15. Big turnover for the Lobos after a big play for Wilkeny and Johnson. Johnson didn't see the man on his left and coughs it up.
Well, the helmet came in with that right hit. It looked like the helmet hit the ball to cause that fumble. As you say, it looked like it was Blue Ridge going to knock off a big gain and get into the red zone. But big turnover, and we talked, Mike, that those turnovers are going to be a huge key, much more of a key, I think, for Blue Ridge tonight than certainly for Snowflake. And turnover after a big drive there, that's tough medicine for the Jackets.
Everybody in tight for the Lobos on first down. Claridge in the shotgun. He's going to give to Patterson, I believe, and he has nothing going on the right side. Patterson, the smaller of the 2 Lobos backs, and he was not able to get much penetration. Might have got back to the line of scrimmage. No, excuse me, they're going to say loss of 3 all the way back to the 11-yard line. Going to bring up 2nd down and 13.
Credit Nick Baker, the defensive end for Blue Ridge, slicing in along with number 17 Colton Penrod, Lane's younger brother. Great play by them to get that loss.
Claridge this time going to go to the air. Looking deep. Has a man, and it is, just overthrown. Pass intended for J.T. Tate. Coverage on the play by Blaine Hebuck. And the pass falls incomplete, stops the clock as we check in with the Black Diamond Auto Glass scoreboard. 6:51 to go in the first, 0-0 our score. Lobos have it deep in their own territory, facing a 3rd and 13. Tough place to be with your back against your end zone.
Well, Claridge had to lead the receiver because of the tight coverage by Hebuck, and just a little too far ahead, and the receiver not able to pull that in.
Claridge going to send 3 receivers to left, and he's going to roll left, looking to throw, going deep, has a man, and it's picked off. Rosales on the interception. Luis Rosales, the sophomore, goes up. Pass intended for JT Tate of the Lobos, but Rosales went up in front of him and repays the favor. Now both teams with one turnover apiece. Jackets take over at the Lobo 35.
That's exceptional coverage by Rosales on that play, able to occupy that space between the receiver and the ball, and goes up strong to get the interception.
And we do have a flag on the play, it looks like. And we'll check in with our head official, Mr. Paul Hancock, if there is indeed a flag. Might be a sideline warning. He's gone to the notebook. And we'll see if he announces anything, or if that's just going to be a unsportsmanlike conduct, probably going to go against the Lobos. So a 35, the ball's right now at the 35-yard line. If it's a 15-yarder, this could go all the way up to the 20-yard line, and we'll check in.
Yeah, that'll leave Blue Ridge in outstanding field position with that interception. Really put them back to where they were when they fumbled the ball before turning it over to Snowflake.
Dead ball. Unsportsmanlike. On defense. 15-yard first down.
It is going to be a 15-yard penalty. Going to take the ball into the red zone. The Jackets, right about where they would have been.
Exactly.
Had Johnson held on to the ball.
Pretty close.
And
so they're back close to the red zone here. Are the Jackets.
Wilkening's ready to go. Has Penrod to his left. Three receivers to the left. Takes the ball, looking to throw. Looking to throw left. Has a man open, and he overthrows him. Intended for Jones, but while he was open, could not hook up. Wilkening couldn't, and it's going to bring up second down and 10.
Well, Wilkening had to throw that ball out and lead him quite a bit, given the coverage of Keegan Bourne underneath, and then number 20 Trent Hatch over the top. So he had a really tight window there, just a little too far ahead of the receiver that time, Nick Jones.
Wilkening has two men in the backfield. That's Johnson and Penrod, offset to the right. Wilkening go under center. One receiver right, slot to the left. Long snap count, takes it, give it to the deep man. That's Penrod, cuts it up inside, and not much else doing there. Might have got forward progress to the 19. Nope, they're gonna say just to the 20. No gain on the play. Gonna bring up third down and 10. Jackets may have to be forced to go to the air again, and they're working against the wind here in this first quarter punt.
Yeah, we talked about the wind earlier, and it's gusting. Every now and then you can feel it pick up, which will, certainly affect the flight of the ball.
Same formation for the Jackets. Rosales now in the backfield, though, and the give is to him. No, Wilkening keeps it, has it across the 15, spins forward to the 12, to the 13, but not going to be enough for the first down as the Jackets run the option. They're going to put him all the way back to the 14-yard line on the spot. Going to bring up fourth down and 4. And we'll see what Coach London and the Jackets decide to do here, decide if they want to kick it into that wind or go for it.
Well, as you say, that was an option by Wilkening. He's reading that defensive end. That time the end crashing down on the dive, so he keeps and makes a great spin move just to get a couple extra yards. So Blue Ridge will stay with their offense here and see if they can get a first down.
Well, and if you're the Jackets, you got to be feel fairly confident about your defense after the last series. Wilkening goes to the shotgun. Penrod flanking to his right, and whistle blown and a timeout on the play. We will take it with them. You're listening to Hatch Motor Company's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7 and on the web at iTalk1067.com. We'll be right back.
Black Diamond Auto Glass provides the finest full-service mobile and in-shop glass repair services. From free chip repair to windshield replacement, tinting, and more. We're here to pamper you and your car.
Black Diamond Auto Glass. Yeah.
Don't let salmonella get funky with your chicken. On average, 1 in 6 Americans will get a foodborne illness this year. So learn the right temperature to cook each type of meat. Keep your family safe at foodsafety.gov.
It's the Lobos and the Jackets in a tight one, 0-0 here from Snowflake High School. 5:14 to go in the first quarter. This is Hatch Motor Company's presentation of high school football, as the Jackets have called timeout deep in Lobo territory at the 14. Fourth down and 4, long 4 coming up. Lobo fans going to try to encourage their defense to try to make a stand. They have not given up too many yards to the Jackets tonight as Wilkening goes in the shotgun. Penrod to his right, take the snap, wants to throw, looking to the middle, now throws it to the outside, and it's complete, and it's Alder, and it's a touchdown, Yellow Jackets.
That's just a great route by Alder. He drives back the corner and then steps up for a little hitch route, and it requires great timing between the quarterback and the receiver. Well-placed pass by Wilkening, just great execution for the first score of the game.
And we had a great view of that one. We saw Wilkening look to the middle, pull that cornerback to the middle, and then threw it to the outside to Alder for the Black Diamond Auto Glass touchdown. Jackets get on the board first, and they lead 6-0. On for the point after attempt is Seattle. We don't have his name. We don't have him on the roster, but I know there's a name of Seattle somewhere in there. As the snap is good, the hold looks good, the kick is up, plenty of leg, and it is good. Once again, with 5:07 to go in the first quarter, Jackets on top, 7-0. You're listening to Hatch Motor Company's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7 and on the web at iTalk1067.com.
Sunrise Park Resort is now open every Friday to Monday through Labor Day weekend. Bring the family for a full day of fun and activities, including scenic cliff rides, mountain biking and bike rentals, tube slide, airbag jump, and more. Book your reservation at the Sunrise Hotel with beautiful views of the lake and mountain, or rent a boat at the Sunrise Lake Marina. And make sure you visit our general store for all your camping and fishing needs. For more information, please call 928-735-7669 or visit our website at sunriseskipark.com.
Need a fireplace? Ace has that. Need barbecue grills? Ace has that. Need paint? Ace is the best place for that. Need a chainsaw or weed eater? Ace has that too. Ace can even fix your chainsaw and your weed eater. Ace Hardware has everything you need for your home improvement project. They even have a 24/7 locksmith. Locked out of your home or car? Their mobile unit will come to you. That's your helpful place. Ace Hardware of the White Mountains in Pinetop, Overguard, and Show.
Get it out to about the 21-yard line. Didn't see who was the return man. I believe it was JT Tate.
82.
Oh, it was 82?
Luke Cron.
Excuse me.
And, Cron with a little quick jab step was able to miss the tackle of number 34 for Blue Ridge, John Crow, one of the crazies going down fast. So a quick move by him, avoiding a big collision as soon as he picked that ball up off the grass.
So Lobos huddling on their sideline to begin what really is their third possession. After their first one, they couldn't convert on fourth down, then they turned it over on an interception. So this will be their third time, starting at the 21. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left for Claridge. Going to give to Solomon. No, he keeps. Fake it to Solomon up the middle. Claridge, forward progress to the 23-yard line, a pickup of 2. And the Jackets, the front forward for the Jackets doing a good job holding the runners, although Solomon had some success early. They haven't gone back to him in a while.
Yeah, that first possession, Snowflake able to bust open some big gaps, big holes at the line of scrimmage, and allowing that Snowflake running game to gain quite a few yards. But these last 2 possessions, Blue Ridge making some sort of an adjustment and stiffening up front, as you say, Mike.
Bring a man in motion to the Lobos. Give to that man on the end round. That's Alex Patterson. Oh, and a great open field tackle. Luis Rosales comes out, takes the legs out from Patterson. Looked like he might have had room to turn the corner, but quick pursuit by Luis Rosales.
That's a big hit by a safety. Rosales coming up strong after seeing that outside linebacker get sucked in. They were able to get outside of the outside linebacker. Rosales doing the right thing, coming up hard and fast, and just lays a big tackle.
And again, Solomon not touching the ball here in a while, averages 7.4 yards per touch as the Lobos lose 3 on the play. And on 3rd and 11, bring another man in motion, fake. Claridge wants to throw, throws the screen pass, it's complete. He's got blockers out in front across the 30 and taken out of bounds at the 36-yard line, and good for a Horn Auto Center first down, complete to Zach Solomon.
And that's just good play calling there by the Snowflake coaches, seeing an opportunity to pop off that screen with the pursuit inside, with the defense of Blue Ridge staying inside. They're able to pop that outside for a big gain.
Had 3 blockers out in front of him, Solomon did, and able to pick up the first down. The biggest play for the Lobos so far tonight is they send 2 receivers either side. Claridge is going to stay in the shotgun. Bring a man in motion, that's Baird. And they fumbled the snap. Claridge falls on it, but he's going to lose 3.
Well, they're doing that speed sweep from the right side going left, and Claridge just not able to handle the snap. And fortunate, actually, not to turn the ball over. Smartly just falls on it.
Ball is taken all the way back to the 32-yard line. Going to bring up second down. We'll call it 14. As Lobos stay in that same formation, 2 receivers either side. Bring Willis in motion this time. Fake to him, give to Solomon up the middle. Has room across the 35 to the 40, and stopped there by the secondary of the Jackets, led by Tristan Johnson and Nick Jones.
Well, that's just great offensive line play by the Lobos, able to open up a big hole on that right side, allowing Solomon to get at least a big head of steam before he even hits the second level. So just outstanding line play by the Lobos on that play.
And excuse me, there was down to the 34-yard line. Pickup of about 7. Lobos still going to be faced with a 3rd and 8, as they're going to send 2 receivers to the left, to the right, same formation. Solomon to his right. Bring Barrett in motion. Again, the fumble, the snap. Claridge is going to have to run for it, and they can't corral him, and they finally get him down in the backfield, back to the 32, the 33, and he's going to be stopped there. Eccles had a shot at him back in the backfield, but again, it looked like Baird hit the ball on the way by on the fake, and Claridge couldn't hold on to it.
Yeah, it's hard to tell if the exchange, the fake on that speed sweep is causing the fumble, or if Claridge just isn't handling the snap really well. Ryan Eccles, as you say, missing the tackle in the backfield. He comes up limping. He'll go off under his own power.
So Entrican will replace Eccles in the lineup. Luis Rosales will go back to receive this punt as the Lobos face a 4th and 8 inside their 35-yard line. Rosales that's Blaine Hebuck at his 30. Takes a big Lobo bounce to the 25, and Hebuck picks it up at the 20, and he's going to be dropped at the 25. Gutsy move by Hebuck. Good tackle on the play by Richard Baird. And the Jackets will start 1st and 10 at their 25.
You might have heard me humming in the background with that, as you call it, a
gutsy.
Gutsy. I would say risky to be kind, but nevertheless, Blue Ridge keeps the ball here.
Well, return guys do look for that hop.
Yep.
And I don't know if he got it, but Hebuck's not very tall, so he doesn't need much of a hop. Listed at 5'7". Hebuck stays in the game. No, excuse me, he is out. Wilkening. Deep, gives it to the deep man from the shotgun. I believe that is Penrod. And just across the 35 to the 36, gain of 1 as we check in with the Black Diamond Auto Glass scoreboard. Minute 5 clock running. Jackets lead 7-0 in this one.
Zach Solomon in on the tackle on Penrod from that inside linebacker position. So Blue Ridge, they've been battling tough up front and just not able to open up any giant holes for their runners so far this game.
Entrican and Jones line up wide right. Alder and Johnson to the left as Wilkening goes under center. He's going to fake it to Penrod. No give to Penrod. Off the right tackle. Falls forward for 2. It's going to bring up third down and 7 for the Jackets. And again, Wilkening going to be put into a throwing situation, most likely, into the wind.
Yeah, and the wind, as we had mentioned, it's been pretty steady, but every now and then we'll get a gust. And I guess our best gauge is the flag in the end zone. We can feel it up here in the stands, but apparently just looking at the flag, which is right down at one end of the field, it doesn't appear to be blowing that hard as compared to where we're sitting.
And the Jackets are going to let the clock run out on the first quarter, and they lead over the Snowflake Lobos 7-0. You're listening to Hatch Motor Company's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7 and on the web at iTalk1067.com.
Orthodontist Dr. Joshua Beeler has been providing family-friendly orthodontics in Show Low and the entire White Mountains since 2006. If you need braces, stop in and see the friendly folks at Beeler Orthodontics and meet their professional staff. Dr. Beeler and his team have the latest in orthodontics technology, and they work with each patient individually to custom tailor the most effective treatment plan for the best results. Beeler Orthodontics is a proud sponsor of high school sports. Beeler Orthodontics, live to smile, love your smile.
Welcome back to Snowflake High School. The Jackets on top of the Lobos, 7-0, and it's homecoming night for the Lobos. You're not supposed to do that on homecoming, are you? You're not supposed to beat the home team.
That's usually what they would like to have happen. Last time I checked.
But so far, the Jackets didn't get the memo. Want to again thank Brown and Russo Insurance for sponsoring tonight's football game. For all your insurance needs, auto, home, or business, visit the nearest Brown and Russo Insurance Agency with 4 locations in Show Low, Pine Top, Springerville, and even down in Tempe. So after the first quarter timeout, as we change sides of the field, the wind now at the back of the Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets, and they will start, and they will have a 3rd down and 7 situation at their own 32-yard line. We are set for play. Wilkening going to go in the shotgun. Penrod will be to his left. 3 receivers to the left. Wilkening's looking that way. Has time. Now here comes the pressure. He stops, tries to throw it. Cannot. He's going to be sacked for a big loss back to the 10-yard line. Wilkening held on to that one way too long.
Yeah, he did do that. And there's 3 Lobos in on the tackle, all from the defensive front. You know, those gray numbers on blue jerseys, hard to see. One, Leon LaGrange, along with Solomon, so good defensive pressure. But as you say, Mike, Wilkening just hanging on a little too long, and that's going to cost him big. So Blue Ridge will be in a punt situation here. And
I was mistaken. It was the 15, not the 10. Entrican to punt for the Jackets. Gets off a good punt with the wind at his back. Takes a Jacket bounce inside the 40 to the 30, and will be down at the 30-yard line. Huge punt for the Jackets. No flags on the play, but the Lobos stop the Jackets and have another shot at offense here in the second quarter.
Yeah, and that's as you say, Mike, that's a big punt there for not only in distance, but in terms of pushing Snowflake back on their side of the field. That's a big switch there for the Jackets. Effective play.
55-yard punt for Entrican. With 11-12 to go here in the second quarter. The Black Diamond Auto Glass scoreboard reads Jackets 7, Lobos 0. On first down, give to Solomon. Not much doing this time. Up the middle to the 31. Solomon gets 1. Met there by Eccles and Baker for the Jackets.
As you say, Mike, good defensive line play. Eccles and Baker, both DNs, coming in on opposite sides to hit Solomon pretty much at the same time and lead the tackling effort and limit the game there for the Jackets.
Richard Baird a little late coming off the sideline with the play. Solomon will stay in the backfield, flanking Claridge to his right, 3 receivers right, 1 to the left. Take the snap, and movement a little early, and that's going to back the Lobos up 5 yards, and we'll have to redo second down.
Well, the backfield for the Lobos starting before the ball was snapped, and that'll be the call. There are a whole host of Lobos jumping that count.
Yeah, I think maybe the center didn't get the memo on that one. Now, the Lobos kind of showed their hand. They were going to run a little receiver screen, little flare screen, so we'll see if they do that now, as they do stick with the same formation. Snap to Claridge. He does roll it. They do roll it, but they throw it to the inside man, and he cannot hang on to it. That was Baird, and heard footsteps coming.
Well, as you say, they do that pop action with that split out to make it look like a screen off the fake dive. But they also have a receiver slanting in underneath, and that's who Claridge targeted. He was wide open, just couldn't make the catch.
Turned his head upfield just a moment too early, and the incompletion will bring up 3rd down and 14 for the Lobos. Same formation, 3 trips right, single receiver here to the near sideline. Claridge takes a snap, fake, looks to throw, throwing deep into the wind. Hebuck and JT Tate, And ball probably would have been out of bounds anyway, as Claridge tried to throw that one into the teeth of the wind, and it comes down incomplete.
Well, and Claridge had his mindset from the get-go. As soon as the ball was snapped and he could get his fingers on the laces, he was looking down for Tate, who has a height advantage over Heatbuck. But credit Heatbuck staying tight, belt to belt, the whole way down the field.
Well, we'll see how JT Tate does as the punter into the wind. Heatbuck going back to his 45. We'll check in on the actual wind conditions on the field as a low end-over-end kick by Tate takes a snowflake bounce to the 40. Heatbuck tries to pick it up. He does at the 35, and he's going to be tackled there. Nice tackle by Tanner Willis. Let's go down to our sideline reporter, Brandon Todd, for an update on the field conditions. Brandon?
Thanks, Mike. The wind is kind of weird down here on the field. Like right now, I feel it pretty strongly on my face, and then I can feel it blowing my hair a little bit, but I look at the flag, and the flag's not moving very much. And then there's times where I look at the flag's going crazy, and I don't feel it much down here on the field. So it's kind of weird wind conditions. It's gusty at times. Right now, it seems fairly calm on the field, but I don't know what's going on.
All right, thank you very much, Brandon, I think. Wind is definitely going to play a factor, as really one of the few cold nights we've had for high school football so far this season, Punt.
Yep, definitely cooling off.
Jackets put Wilkening under center, give to the deep man. That's Tristan Johnson, met on the left side by a host of defenders for the Lobos. Going to get forward progress of a pickup of 1 yard. Also in there for the Jackets leading the way on blocking was Trey Ruloff, a 5'8" senior for the Jackets.
Well, we talked about one of the big keys for Snowflake tonight would be stopping the Blue Ridge run. And, honestly, I think they've done an outstanding job defensively, have the Lobos. Blue Ridge not able to pop off any big runs so far. And really, when you think about their offensive production, it's been through the air. Certainly with the one touchdown being from a pass for Blue Ridge.
Two receivers to the right for the Jackets. One in the slot. Pitch it to the deep man. That is Blaine Penrod. And Penrod's going to be hammered back there for a big loss. LaGrange on the tackle, but a flag on the play. Could be in the area of holding. And we'll get the official call from our official once the Lobos decide what they're going to do. But that play didn't have anything going from the beginning, Punt.
No, it didn't. There was a run out to that right side and a whole ton of Lobos. I don't know if they read something from the pulling guards or what have you, but they did a great job of just swamping Penrod.
Holding on the offense. Penalties declined. It was a holding. Whatever down.
So it's going to be third. It's going to be third down as the Lobos decline the penalty and they'll take the play, which will be a loss of about 7 anyway.
Right, that's a good call.
The Jackets
take
lose it down. Yeah,
and he's still pushing back. A good 7 yards, as you say, Mike.
Back to the 32-yard line. Actually, a loss of 8, and it's going to bring up third down and 17. So we'll see if the Jackets have that 18-yard play in their back pocket as Wilkening have an extra conversation with Penrod and Rosales. Nick Jones in the slot to the right, another receiver wide left. Wilkening looks to throw, screen pass, and it's over to Rosales, and he drops it. And they're going to blow it dead. Rosales had blockers and could not hold on to it again. We see receivers looking upfield a bit too early. Pass falls incomplete.
Yeah, you hit the nail right on the head, Mike. Rosales, nice easy pass right into his numbers, but he turned to run before thinking about catching. Forgot about the catch part. But as you say, had he been able to pull that ball in, he had room.
So Entrican will stand at his 16-yard line. Tate, I believe, at his 33. Not much of a rush as Entrican gets off another big punt with the win. Inside the 30, taken at the 21, and ill-advised as, that's Willis. And Willis takes it all the way back down to the 18. He'll be tackled there. Colton Penrod on the tackle for the Jackets, and the Lobos lose a little bit of field position there inside their 20 to the 18.
Yeah, they do that. Had he let it go out of bounds or even just run out of bounds, they'd still have, an extra 3 yards to work with. But good defensive pressure by the Jackets on that punt to tackle him as soon as he picked it up and goes to run.
Lobos go twins either side. Claridge is going to stay in the shotgun. Give to Solomon. Hit in the backfield, but breaks that tackle and has forward progress to the 20-yard line. Pickup of 2. It'll bring up 2nd down and 8.
And again, Lobos going to Solomon, who's been a steady performer for them this year, their leading rusher. But the Jackets moving into a 4-man front defensively. Typically, we'll see them in a 3-4 set, but you know, against obviously watching film and going up against a very large Snowflake front, electing to go with a 4-man front tonight.
Well, and the Lobos didn't like what they saw. They had a man come late onto the field, and we will take the timeout with them. You're listening to Hatch Motor Company's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7 and on the web at iTalk1067.com. It is the White Mountain Sports Game of the Week on iTalk 106.7, brought to you by Hatch Motor Company. Jackets on top as we check in with the Black Diamond Auto Glass scoreboard, home of the free chip repair. Jackets on top 7-0 with 7:56 left in the first half. Lobos have it, 2nd down and 8 from the 20, their own 20. Claridge in the shotgun, extra backs in the backfield, give to the deep man, that's Hatch, and Hatch runs into his own man who has stood up. And Eccles comes in from the side and cleans up. And Hatch will have forward progress to the 21, just a gain of 1.
Dominic West also from his inside linebacker position coming up to fill that gap. So, you know, we talked, Mike, about at the top, one of the keys for Blue Ridge, you know, defensively getting some solid play from their linebackers tonight. And they're, you know, that right. And so far in this drive, they've been doing very well, limiting the gains.
Ooh, a lot of movement on the line, and they're going to blow this one dead as the Lobos not set. Claridge wanted to throw, but Tate wasn't quite set.
False start on the offense. 5-yard penalty.
And there he is. That's going to back the Lobos up inside the 20 again, back to the 18-yard line where they started this drive. Excuse me, back to the 16-yard line. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 13. Jackets probably going to be on the lookout for a screen pass, as Alex Patterson, one of their leading offensive players for the Lobos, leaves the game. And they bring Hatch and JT Tate here to the sideline, 2 receivers to the right. Claridge takes the shotgun snap, he looks to throw. Looking to the middle, here comes pressure, he dumps it off, and it's incomplete. Incomplete on the coverage for the Jackets was Dominic West, and ball was a little high, but West made sure he didn't come down with it.
Well, Solomon runs the route right in front of the linebacker, West, and as you say, a little high. Solomon goes up to try to grab it, but West right there, right as soon as the ball touches Solomon's fingertips. So good, solid defensive stand here by the Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets.
And Tyler Claridge just 2 for 8 passing the ball for just over 20 yards. So Tate will step in to punt from inside his 5. Hebuck at about midfield. And ball was tipped. Rosales got a piece of it. It lands at the 30, and it's going to be down there. Jackets will have excellent field position at the 32-yard line in Lobo territory, and they will have it 1st and 10 with 6:53 to go and the wind at their back.
I'll tell you, you know, Rosales he got through, he sliced right through the line of scrimmage. You could see him get in there early. And I think Snowflake a little fortunate there that he didn't knock it straight back down close to the goal line.
You got to stay back.
So the Jackets will break the huddle. 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Wilkinino go to the shotgun. Penrod to his right. Lobos show blitz. They pick it up as Wilkins floats one up over the top to Jones, and it's incomplete. Jump ball at the 5-yard line. Back there defensively, Tegan Peterson, along with 3 other Lobo defenders, but that ball stayed up in the air a little too long. Jones almost came up with it, but it falls incomplete.
Yeah, well, you had to put some touch on it, you know, with Jones behind. Jones able to get behind the defenders So Wilkening smartly with some touch, but as you say, Mike, maybe just a little too much air and allowing those defenders to react to the pass. Otherwise, Jones with a little bit firmer pass could have been stepping right into the end zone on that pass.
Send Alder wide to the far side of the field. I-backs behind Wilkening under center. Take the snap, give it to Penrod. Has forward progress. Gain of 3, we'll say 2 to the 30. Jackets again, they've been forced, they've seen a lot of 3rd and long situations, and they have one here, a 3rd and 8.
Yep. Curious to see if they stay with the run or if they go pass here, the Yellow Jackets.
Had some success with the pass, although I don't think Wilkening's number is much better than Claridge's on the night as far as completions. Alder again goes wide to the far side. I-backs send Jones in motion across the formation. Take the snap, give to the deep man. I think Jones went upfield a little early as Tristan Johnson gets the handoff, and absolutely nothing doing there as he has been thrown back. Just gets back to the line of scrimmage to the 30, but the penalty is probably going to take the Jackets back a little further as the officials talk about this at the 35. The white hat, he likes to give the call before he gives the call.
Right.
It kind of ruins the suspense a little bit, but he's got to talk it over.
Well, I'll be curious to see what Snowflake elects to do here with 3rd down, whether they take him back or if they.
I got to believe either way, Blue Ridge is running a play.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we'll see what he has to say. Might have missed the
penalty is declined. 4th down.
Yep. So they'll decline the penalty and take the down.
So it'll be 4th down and 8 for the Jackets at the 30-yard line. I don't know. Well, with the wind at their back, they may have enough leg. But it looks like offense is happening. Hebuck and Wilkening come in with the play for the Jackets.
Well, clearly a passing situation here, 4th down and 8, but that doesn't necessarily mean that Coach London will call the pass.
Twin set for the Jackets. Wilkening in the shotgun. 4th down. Throw the screen to Hebuck. Hebuck tries to go inside. Nothing doing at the 29-yard line. Tackled immediately. Lobos will have it after the turnover. 1st and 10. Let's go down to our sideline reporter, Brandon Todd. Brandon?
Thanks, Mike. Hey, during the pregame, I was taking a look at both of the kickers for both the Lobos and the Yellow Jackets. It seemed like both kickers were having trouble getting the ball off their foot. They were hooking them, and there were actually quite a few shanks. So I got to imagine that on 4th down, if they have any doubt, do we kick it? You're probably going to see a lot of 4th down go for it from the offense rather than trying to kick it.
All right, thank you very much, Brandon. Good to know for future situations. Jackets look confused on defense. On 1st down, Lobos give to Patterson, who almost fumbles it. I don't know how he brought that one back down and picks up 4 at the same time to the 39-yard line, 34-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 6.
Well, as you say,
Lobos.
I'm sorry, Mike, as you say, Patterson, as he hits the line of scrimmage, made a spin, and in the process, his arm flying out. Looked like that ball might pop out, but does a great job of just keeping track of it as it goes on his way down to the field.
Lobos send Patterson. They meant for him to come out of the game, but he was still in there. So there's going to be a timeout on the field with 5:01 to go. We will step away. You're listening to Hatch Motor Company's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7 and on the web at iTalk1067.com.
There's no better time to visit Horn Auto Center. Check out the all-new Chevy Silverado. Voted 2014 North American Truck of the Year. Strong for all the roads ahead. Or find new roads with the all-new Corvette Stingray. Voted the 2014 North American Car of the Year. Visit Horn Auto Center on the Deuce of Clubs in Show Low across from Safeway and at hornauto.com. You're at home with Horn since 1991.
Well, it's been a tightly contested battle here tonight from Snowflake High School as the teams have traded sides of the field numerous times. The Jackets clinging to a 7-0 lead. Scoreboard update, the update brought to you by Black Diamond Auto Glass, home of the free chip repair. Lobos have to burn their 2nd time out of the half and have a 2nd down and 6 coming up at the 34-yard line in their own territory. Claridge in the shotgun. 3 backs in the backfield. Fake to 1, run the counter. Has room up the middle, and that's to Willis. And Willis is going to be very close to a first down at the 39-yard line, pickup of 5. And it's going to bring up 3rd down and short for the Lobos.
Well, you know, both teams, Mike, as we talked about at the top of the game, like to run the ball, prefer to run the ball, but I got to say Snowflake doing a much better job in terms of accumulating yardage than Blue Ridge so far in the game.
So on 3rd and 1, Lobos again have 3 backs in the backfield, but Claridge stays in the shotgun. Give to Patterson. He has a lot of room off the right side, tackled by Rosales in the secondary, but not before another 5-yard pickup for Patterson, and a Horn Auto Center first down to the 44-yard line of the Lobos.
And again, that's another good run by the Lobos, opening up big holes up front. And as you say, whenever you have a safety making a tackle, in this case Rosales for Blue Ridge, that usually means a pretty decent gain.
I was going to remind everybody to stay tuned for stats at halftime, but the win took them. I don't. So on first down, give on the end around. That's Willis trying to turn the corner, but Heba comes up and makes a good play. Also there for the Jackets, Alex Fuentes. No gain on the play. Back to the line of scrimmage, maybe half a yard. They're going to bring up 2nd down and 10.
Actually, I think that was Coy London, number 80, from his linebacker position, sliding out.
Seeing as how there is no number 20 out there, that's probably correct. So on 2nd down and 10. Same formation, everybody in tight for the Lobos. Send Patterson in motion, and ball fumble snap, but Solomon picks it up and he gets positive yards to midfield and a 5-yard pickup. Eccles again had a chance to blow up the play in the backfield but could not stop Solomon, who actually picks up 6 yards. And I'll bring up 3rd down and 4.
And I'm not sure if that was intended to be a direct snap to Solomon, or if the snap was just so poor he ended up with it. But regardless, credit Solomon thinking quickly and moving fast, getting a good gain, as you say.
This time the Lobos sent 2 receivers either side. Bring a man in motion. That's Baird. Give it to him on the end around. Has room as Solomon lead blocks for him. He turns the corner across the 45 to the 41-yard line. And another Horn Auto Center first down for the Lobos and a pickup of 9. And excuse me, that is Trent Hatch on the carry, not Baird. 20, not 21.
And that's out of a speed sweep motion by Hatch from the left side going right. And with a full head of steam, once he gets that handoff, able to get outside of that Blue Ridge defense, as you say, Mike, and cutting upfield for another nice gain.
Same formation for the Lobos. Claridge in the shotgun. Give to Patterson. Patterson lowers his head and drives forward after initial contact for a gain of 3 inside the 40 of the Jackets to the 39. Want to again thank Brown & Russo Insurance for sponsoring tonight's contest. For all your insurance needs, auto, home, or business, visit the nearest Brown & Russo Insurance agency with 4 locations in Sholo, Pine Top, Springerville, and Tempe.
Actually, I think that was Zach Solomon on the carry, Mike. And, you know, he's so aggressive. He hits the line so hard with such a big head of steam and able to just blow through that front line and get a decent gain.
In my mind, I said Solomon. Lobos take the snap, fake it to Solomon. Claridge wants to throw, dumps it to Bjorn. Bjorn is hit pretty much immediately. Ball comes loose. They're gonna say he was down at the 35-yard line. So another pickup of 3, and the Lobos will have a 3rd and 4 situation as we check in with the Black Diamond Auto Glass scoreboard with 1:46 to go in this contest. Jackets still leading 7-0. Lobos running out of time, have 1 timeout, but they got 35 yards to go.
Well, they've been mounting a decent drive here, have the Lobos. You know, they started back in their end of the field, and with a decent running game, good running game, and some decent passing, able to march down into Blue Ridge territory.
Claridge throws over the middle and is complete, hit immediately, and somehow holding on to the ball. Is that Tate? No, I believe that's Bjorn again, Keegan Bjorn, and a Horn Auto Center first down for the Lobos to the Yellow Jacket 25-yard line. Clock continues to run. Lobos bring everybody in tight again. Claridge stays in the shotgun. Fake to Hatch, looks to throw again on the left, has a man and is overthrown. Tate makes a great attempt. Hebuck there on the coverage, but just overthrown. Don't forget to stay tuned for the Sunrise Park Resort halftime show, as we are 1:09 away from that. And let's go down to our sideline reporter, Brandon Todd. Brandon?
Actually, I had a question for you guys. Do you notice that it seems like when Snowflake passes, whenever they're passing to the left side, they're overthrowing the ball by a good maybe 2-3 yards, but they're throwing the ball to the right side. It seems like all the balls are right on point. You guys noticing that?
Well, we will try to from this point forward.
Appreciate that.
Thanks for that insight, Brandon. We'll see how that plays out.
Well,
for the rest of the contest.
Back to the point, their completions seem to be over the middle behind those linebackers more so than out in the flats.
Claridge throws over the middle, and it is complete. Going down for that one is Tate, JT Tate on the reception, and good for a 7-yard pickup inside the 20. Going to bring up 3rd down and 3 for the Lobos. Clock running, though, as that ball stayed in bounds, and the Lobos only have 1 timeout.
And again, another slant route from the outside in over the top, or over the linebackers. Another completion here for the Lobos.
Claridge trying to throw quickly and intended for Tate. It falls incomplete. On the coverage for the Jackets was Dominic West, but the clock does stop. However, the Lobos are going to be forced with a 4th and 3 situation.
Big down here for the Jackets defense. As you say, Mike, in the red zone are the Lobos, and they need Blue Ridge if they want to take this lead into halftime with just 41 seconds left. This is the place to do it.
And the Lobos desperately want to get points on the board in this first half. Coach Solomon talked about getting off to a quick start offensively, and they have not been able to do so. The Jackets, they elect to take a timeout right here in order to make sure their defense, instead there's a big play, it is 4th down. The Lobos can get a 1st down here and still have time to get the ball into the end zone.
Yeah, this is a huge play for the Jackets. You know, clearly coming in as the underdog in tonight's game are the Jackets, and for them to go in at halftime with a 7-0 lead would be huge for them and their momentum.
And speaking of halftime, don't forget our halftime sponsor, Sunrise Park Resort. If you missed it today, they're still having their junior pass promotion tomorrow and Sunday. Kids 12 and under can ski or board for free this winter. They can earn a free season pass. All you have to do is bring a canned food donation, take a scenic lift ride, and recite the responsibility code. That's happened already today, but it will continue tomorrow and Sunday from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Go to sunriseskipark.com for more details. Great opportunity that Sunrise always provides for the youth of the White Mountains. So after the timeout, we'll see what both coaches have dialed up. It's a chess match trying to figure out what the Lobos are going to do. I'm going to guess they're going to throw it over the middle. Patterson will be in the shotgun, 2 receivers right, 2 to the left. Takes a snap, wants to throw. Here comes the blitz, and it's complete to Solomon on the screen, and he has the 1st down. Intrican on the tackle. Horn Auto Center 1st down for the Lobos. Penrod was putting pressure on the quarterback, but credit the senior Claridge for keeping his composure and making a completion.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, a great call by the coaches to that middle screen, just finding the soft spot in the Blue Ridge defense.
Under 30 seconds, Claridge going to give to Solomon up the middle. He's dragging tacklers, and the Lobos are going to have to call a timeout after that one, as looked like London in there on the tackle for Solomon at the 6-yard line. So it's going to be 2nd down and goal to go from the 6. Lobos burn their final timeout, and this one's going to provide some excitement here in the first half, Punt.
Well, you can hear the fans. We're sitting among them here on the Lobos side, and they're certainly cheering their guys on, recognizing the opportunity they have here to punch the ball in after being frustrated the entire first half with that stingy Blue Ridge defense.
Yeah, Lobos not used to not putting points on the board, and I can almost guarantee they have not been shut out in the first half so far this season.
Yeah, it's big play here for the Lobos, certainly. This with just 23 seconds left. To be curious to see if they try punching it in on the ground or if they go to the air.
You know, they probably have, if they were to run it, they probably have at least 2 or 3 plays still.
With no timeouts, so you got to, certainly be careful. But as you say, the chess match continues between the coaching staffs here.
Also want to thank tonight's sponsors, Octopus Car Wash, Northland Pioneer College, Summit Regional Medical Center, the Indian Pine Restaurant, and Ace Hardware in Pine Top, Heber, and Show Low, as the Lobos and Jackets are ready for action. Claridge is going to stay in the shotgun. To his right, to his left is Solomon. That's Hatch. They want to throw. Looking for the screen. Here comes the pressure, and it's complete to Bjorn. Touchdown, Lobos! 6-yard touchdown pass, a Black Diamond Auto Glass touchdown. Claridge stays in again, takes the hit, but delivers the strike to Keegan Bjorn for the touchdown.
And that's Keegan Bjorn doing a drag route all the way over from the right side, coming all the way across the field to that left corner, falling right or running right in front of the linebackers for the Jackets, and just a well-placed pass with Bourne reaching over with the football to get the score right before halftime.
So on for the point after try, Leon LaGrange for the Lobos. And the snap, the hold, the kick is up, and it looked a little right, and it is wide right. So the Jackets cling to a 1-point lead here, 7-6 over the Lobos. We'll keep it here for the final 17 seconds.
And that, you look to me, though it might have been just slightly deflected, hard to see, hard to say from up here, but there were defenders in the backfield at the kick, so regardless.
Someone's trying to hit us, I think.
Yeah, they're shooting these T-shirts with a cannon, and because of the wind, they're kind of getting close to us.
They're not playing the wind very well. It's like playing on the playground hoops, you got to play for the win.
Exactly.
17 seconds left in this one. Jackets will get the kickoff and maybe one playoff depending on what they do on the kickoff. And, I'm sure if you ask the Jackets, they'd be happy with this score.
Yeah.
They're used to it.
Absolutely. As I mentioned earlier, the Jackets coming into tonight's contest, the underdog, with Snowflake, not only ranked higher, but as you say, having been consistently putting up a lot of points so far this season. And so for Blue Ridge to go into halftime with limiting the Lobos to only 6, that's a huge accomplishment.
Lobos set for the Northland Pioneer College kickoff from the 40. It's a low end over end kick fielded at the 30. And bringing it up, I believe, is Jones. And no, excuse me. Is that Dominic West? Dominic West bringing it up across the 35. No, excuse me, that was Tristan Johnson. And to the 36-yard line, 38-yard line. So not bad field position, 10 seconds, you got another timeout, maybe take a couple shots down the field with the wind at your back.
Good, certainly, as you say, the wind is the big key, especially knowing that if you're gonna try making a stab into the end zone, you're gonna have to pass it.
Solomon comes on the field late as the Jackets do just take a knee, and that's going to do it. Jackets content to take a 1-point lead into the locker room at halftime. They lead 7-6 over the Snowflake Lobos. As we are about set for the Sunrise Park Resort halftime show. But right now, we're going to go down to our sideline reporter, Brandon Todd. He's got Coach Solomon on the field.
Hey, thanks, Mike. Hey, Coach, tough battle. You're going into the locker room down 1 on the unfortunate missed PAT. What are your thoughts? What's the message to your team at half?
Clean it up. We just got to do better. We finally started to establish that run on that last drive. We had to throw for the touchdown because we ran out of time was all. But getting that run established is important, just like I said before the game, and we got to keep doing that.
Thanks a lot, Coach. Appreciate it. Mike?
All right. Thank you very much, Brandon. And I'm sure Coach Solomon's going to have maybe, some different words for his team at halftime. I'm sure he can't be too happy with how things went in the first half.
Well, absolutely. We talked about Snowflake and their proclivity for putting up points, and that's got to be frustrating for the head coach to go in with only 6 here in the first half.
Well, that's going to do it for the first half. Again, our score is Blue Ridge 7, the Snowflake Lobos 6. When we come back, the Sunrise Park Resort. You're listening to Hatch Motor Company's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7 and on the web at iTalk1067.com.
In today's challenging economy, having a college education is a must. Northland Pioneer College is here to help you prepare for your future. NPC is committed to providing you with the highest quality education with the lowest tuition cost in the state. We offer a variety of advanced learning classes to prepare you for a transfer or associate's degree, personal interest education, or earning your GED.
Contact an academic advisor for more information. Go online at npc.edu.
Hi folks, Gentry Hatch here. Let's face it, in today's world, there are a lot of tools out there to help you buy a car. An iPhone, Kelly Blue Book, the list goes on and on.com. At Hatch Motor Company in Snowflake and Show Low, we know that you can and will find the best deal for you. We will even help you find it if you don't happen to have a smartphone, which I believe everybody does. Remember, no hassle, no pressure, simply the best in service and sales. Hatch Motor Company in Snowflake and in Show Low, and online all the time at hatchmotorco.com.
Black Diamond Auto Glass provides the finest full-service mobile and in-shop glass repair services. From free chip repair to windshield replacement, tinting, and more. We're here to pamper you and your car.
Black Diamond Auto Glass. Yeah.
Don't let salmonella get funky with your chicken. On average, 1 in 6 Americans will get a foodborne illness this year. So learn the right temperature to cook each type of meat. Keep your family safe at foodsafety.gov.
Sunrise Park Resort is now open every Friday to Monday through Labor Day weekend. Bring the family for a full day of fun and activities, including scenic cliff rides, mountain biking and bike rentals, tube slide, airbag jump, and more. Book your reservation at the Sunrise Hotel with beautiful views of the lake and mountain, or rent a boat at the Sunrise Lake Marina. And make sure you visit our general store for all your camping and fishing needs. For more information, please call 928-735-7669 or visit our website at sunriseskipark.com.
Need a fireplace? Ace has that. Need barbecue grills? Ace has that. Need paint? Ace is the best place for that. Need a chainsaw or weed eater? Ace has that too. Ace can even fix your chainsaw and your weed eater. Ace Hardware has everything you need for your home improvement project. They even have a 24/7 locksmith. Locked out of your home or car? Their mobile unit will come to you. That's your helpful place. Ace Hardware of the White Mountains in Pinetop, Overguard, and Show Low.
Orthodontist Dr. Joshua Beeler has been providing family-friendly orthodontics in Show Low and the entire White Mountains since 2006. If you need braces, stop in and see the friendly folks at Beeler Orthodontics and meet their professional staff. Dr. Beeler and his team have the latest in orthodontics technology, and they work with each patient individually to custom tailor the most effective treatment plan for the best results. Beeler Orthodontics is a proud sponsor of high school sports. Beeler Orthodontics, live to smile, love your smile.
Horn Auto
1991.
Welcome back to Snowflake High School as we enjoy the sights and sounds of the Snowflake Lobo Marching Band. Doing a terrific job here entertaining the folks here at homecoming. Homecoming festivities happening here at Snowflake High School. And at the moment, they are down 7-6 to the Jackets, who have somehow clinged to a one-point lead. And welcome to the Sunrise Park Resort halftime show, brought to you by the Sunrise Park Resort. Sunrise, proud sponsor of high school football, and going on this weekend at Sunrise, their junior pass promotion. Your son or daughter, age 12 or under, can get a chance to get a free lift pass. All they got to do is take a scenic lift ride, recite a responsibility code, and they're in. Bring a can of food for their food drive while you're at it, and they get a free pass to ski or snowboard all winter long. Check it out at sunriseskipark.com. That's sunriseskipark.com. It's happening today, or well, it happened today. It'll be continuing tomorrow and Sunday, both days from 9 to 4 p.m. out at the Sunrise Park Resort. Go to sunriseskipark.com for details. That's sunriseskipark.com. Punt, first half, I think those of us that have been watching these two teams along the way kind of felt like this would probably be a slugfest, and Blue Ridge has got one of the best defenses in the section. Snowflake has got one of the better offenses. Snowflake has one of the best defenses as well. In fact, I was a little surprised to see them give up that early touchdown. They did it on a short field, did the Jackets. They got a short field and were able to convert on a touchdown. We've seen the Snowflake defense stiffen up since then, though.
Absolutely. You know, one of the keys to the game that we talked about for Snowflake at the top of the game was to limit the Blue Ridge running game, and I think they've done an outstanding job. If we were looking at stats before the wind blew them out into the parking lot, I think clearly the Snowflake Lobos offense doing much better running the football, than Blue Ridge so far. Snowflake defense doing a great job at limiting that Jacket running attack, but the one big thing that hurts them is that turnover. That interception by Blue, or was it a fumble recovery? I can't remember. Well, it was an interception.
Interception to set the score, yeah.
Yep, and it put Blue Ridge, as you say, into the red zone of Snowflake. And credit Blue Ridge, they execute the passing game that they needed to have to get that touchdown. But Snowflake's got to feel pretty good about their defensive effort so far, I think, in this first half. The key will be is getting that offense going. Snowflake used to putting up a lot of points so far this season, and that's one thing they've not been able to do here in the first half, and you got to certainly credit that Blue Ridge Yellow Jacket defense for holding them to just 6 here in the first half.
So the scoring-wise here's your scoring recap. The Jackets in their opening possession gave up the possession on a fumble when they were deep in Snowflake territory after they had made a pass reception for a first down and were inside the red zone. They cough up the football. Snowflake able to get the ball back. They are able to get it about to midfield before they end up losing it on downs, going for it on fourth down and unable to come up with the conversion on fourth. Then the Jackets take over. It was their second possession that the Jackets gave up the ball on the fumble, and then Snowflake throwing the interception over on the far sideline to give the Jackets a short field. They capitalize on that, as we mentioned, with 5:07 left in the first quarter. It's a 14-yard pass from Wilkening to Austin Alder. The PAT is good, and the Jackets lead it 7-0. It looked like the Jackets are going to carry that 7-0 lead with them into the second half as they are able to hold the Snowflake Lobos until late in the second half with 14 seconds remaining. The Lobos finally get on the scoreboard for the first time with a Keegan Bjorn reception in the end zone from Claridge. The PAT was no good, and so the Jackets holding on to that 1-point lead. Talking about the Jackets, Punt, they've been in a lot of close games this year. They're no stranger to this. They know what to do in this situation. They lost a close game last week, a 1-point loss to them from Payson. In fact, their margin of victory has not been more than a touchdown, except for one game this season long. In 6 games, they've only had one game where they've had more than a touchdown victory.
Right.
And in at least 2 of the games, they've only won by 1 touchdown or a single point.
Right. Well, I think one of the struggles clearly for Blue Ridge all season long has been their ability to put up points like they're used to putting up points in years past, and that's one of the reasons why I think their games obviously have been so close. Just offensively, they've struggled, to put up the points, and sometimes we've seen them be able to move the ball down the field and then just not finish. And, some of the earlier games this season, certainly they've been improving and getting better, have the Jackets offensively, but they're up against a very tough Lobo team defense tonight. I think another concern that the coaches have on the Blue Ridge side is the amount of time their defense is spending on the field. While they've done a good job here in the first half, one thing they need to be concerned about is just running out of gas, knowing that these guys are out on the field so much defensively, the Jackets in this case. They got to, I think, be a little bit concerned and worried that, they don't want to lose energy as they head into this second half.
Our second half adjustments are coming up next in our Sunrise Park Resort halftime show, brought to you by the Sunrise Park Resort. Your son or daughter age 12 or under can ski or board for free this winter. All you got to do is head out to Sunrise tomorrow and Sunday between the hours of 9 and 4 p.m. Bring a canned food donation, take a scenic lift ride, and recite a responsibility code. And that's all happening this weekend and this weekend only. So be sure to get out to Sunrise so your son or daughter age 12 or under can get a free ski pass for the entire season out at Sunrise Park Resort. That's the Sunrise Park Resort. Go to sunriseskipark.com for details. That's sunriseskipark.com. At intermission, it's the Jackets on top of the Lobos, live from Snowflake High School. They're up 7-6. We'll be back with more of our Sunrise Park Resort halftime show right after this.
Black Diamond Auto Glass provides the finest full-service mobile and in-shop glass repair services. From free chip repair to windshield replacement, tinting, and more. We're here to pamper you and your car.
Black Diamond Auto Glass. Yeah.
There's no better time to visit Horn Auto Center. Check out the all-new Chevy Silverado. Voted 2014 North American Truck of the Year. Strong for all the roads ahead. Or find new roads with the all-new Corvette Stingray. Voted the 2014 North American Car of the Year. Visit Horn Auto Center on the Deuce of Clubs in Show Low across from Safeway and at hornauto.com. You're at home with Horn since 1991.
Don't let salmonella get funky with your chicken. On average, 1 in 6 Americans will get a foodborne illness this year. So learn the right temperature to cook each type of meat. Keep your family safe at foodsafety.gov.
In today's challenging economy, having a college education is a must. Northland Pioneer College is here to help you prepare for your future. NPC is committed to providing you with the highest quality education with the lowest tuition cost in the state. We offer a variety of advanced learning classes to prepare you for a transfer or associate's degree, personal interest education, or earning your GED.
Contact an academic advisor for more information. Go online at npc.edu.
Hi folks, Gentry Hatch here. Let's face it, in today's world, there are a lot of tools out there to help you buy a car. An iPhone, Kelly Blue Book, the list goes on and on.com. At Hatch Motor Company in Snowflake and Show Low, we know that you can and will find the best deal for you. We will even help you find it if you don't happen to have a smartphone, which I believe everybody does. Remember, no hassle, no pressure, simply the best in service and sales. Hatch Motor Company in Snowflake and in Show Low, and online all the time at hatchmotorco.com.
Welcome back to the Sunrise Park Resort halftime show here from Snowflake High School. Our score, Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets 7, the Snowflake Lobos 6. The difference in the game, a missed point after attempt for the Lobos. And Punt, you guys have already talked about the scoring drives and talked about which team is used to these types of games. Let's talk a little bit about that first half and talk about what does Snowflake need to do better in order to get their offense going, because we're used to seeing hundreds of yards a game, many points a game. Obviously, that has not been the case here so far tonight.
Well, I think we heard Coach talk about it in his way in at halftime, where he's, I think, really wanting to find a way to get the running game for the Lobos, getting it more consistent. We saw flashes in that second quarter, the second half of the second quarter, where they were able to move the ball not in the entire length of the field, but did a good job on that last drive ultimately led to the one touchdown they did get before going in at halftime. So I think that's certainly going to be a huge key for Snowflake, is to get the running game going much better. We saw on the passing side for Lobos, they seem to be finding ways to get first downs, key first downs with some screen passes and passes over the middle. But, both quarterbacks not really with high completion percentages or high yardage going in at halftime. So I think certainly in the case of Snowflake, they definitely want to get their running game going a little bit better here in the second half.
Well, they did have some success with the pass, as you mentioned. You think that's something they'll try to do in the second half a little bit more when they have, although they didn't seem to mind whether it was with the wind or against the wind.
Right, and I think that holds true for both teams. There is this gust going from left to right down the field or from north to south, but neither team seemed to be worried too much about the wind. Both teams passing a fair amount. And, on the Blue Ridge side, we talked that really offensively that seemed to be their only production. I mean, Blue Ridge just not being very effective with their running game, and that's why I think credit to Snowflake's defense. They're doing a great job up front at the line of scrimmage and really limiting the Yellow Jackets, who we all know would prefer to run the game, and that's that's the core of their offense. But I think that's going to be a key for Blue Ridge here in the second half, is they need to find a way to get some kind of offense running game going. One of the concerns we talked about, Mike, too, Camden and I, is that Blue Ridge, if having their defense on the field so much in that first half, and when you look at the players they have that go both ways, that could be a factor in terms of just guys running out of gas in that second half if they continue to be on the field for so long. And I'm sure that's something that the Blue Ridge coaches are thinking about.
Well, no doubt, as it is homecoming night here at Snowflake High School, as the royalty have been announced and paraded through. Don't forget, you can rewind that. Check that out on iTalk1067.com. You can slow-mo it and pause it right there. If you're a homecoming royalty or you have a kid or relative that's homecoming royalty, you can freeze it. Jordan Gardner was the king, and Brittany McCain was the queen. That is the homecoming king and queen for the Snowflake Lobos tonight. And but the Lobos right now, more importantly for them, is what to do in order to get the victory here tonight at home, at homecoming, to remain undefeated. That's another thing we have not talked about so far tonight, Punt, is there are seeding points on the line here. The Lobos are sitting at number 4 or 5, I believe, tonight. The Jackets are about 16. Obviously, if the Jackets can hold on to a win here, that would be a huge boost in their seeding. And if the Lobos lose, they're going to probably fall quite a bit. Yeah, well, if you look at between the two teams, who has the most to lose, it would certainly be Blue Ridge, and it would push them further down the rankings and the PowerPoints. And when the season ultimately winds down, to have that position is going to be tough on the Jackets, where with Snowflake, not so much of a fall. But you got to believe that's extra motivation for the Blue Ridge team tonight, is recognizing the importance of this game in terms of their position as they head into because they got both of these teams actually have a tough road ahead. I mean, there's Sholo out there. There's some big competition ahead of them. Yeah, both teams have to play Sholo, and absolutely. I believe Snowflake gets Payson also, who defeated this Blue Ridge team last week. So it's there's no easy road out ahead of them here. But anyway, ultimately, that I think it's both teams clearly motivated. Snowflake homecoming, I mean, they want to be undefeated, but Blue Ridge, it's not make or break for them necessarily, but it's pretty close, and that's certainly part of the, I think a big part of the Yellow Jackets' motivation coming into the second half. And no doubt, and that's going to do it here for the Sunrise Park Resort halftime show. When we come back, we'll see if Brandon Todd can get any thoughts from the locker room from either coach, and the second half kickoff coming up right here on iTalk 106.7 and on the web at iTalk1067.com. Okay, we're going to start off with 2 minutes, and then I'll let you know if we're going to add a minute to that. So.
Sunrise Park Resort is now open every Friday to Monday through Labor Day weekend. Bring the family for a full day of fun and activities, including scenic cliff rides, mountain biking and bike rentals, tube slide, airbag jump, and more. Book your reservation at the Sunrise Hotel with beautiful views of the lake and mountain, or rent a boat at the Sunrise Lake Marina. And make sure you visit our general store for all your camping and fishing needs. For more information, please call 928-735-7669 or visit our website at sunriseskipark.com.
Need a fireplace? Ace has that. Need barbecue grills? Ace has that. Need paint? Ace is the best place for that. Need a chainsaw or weed eater? Ace has that too. Ace can even fix your chainsaw and your weed eater. Ace Hardware has everything you need for your home improvement project. They even have a 24/7 locksmith. Locked out of your home or car? Their mobile unit will come to you. That's your helpful place. Ace Hardware of the White Mountains in Pinetop, Overguard, and Sholo.
Orthodontist Dr. Joshua Beeler has been providing family-friendly orthodontics in Sholo and the entire White Mountains since 2006. If you need braces, stop in and see the friendly folks at Beeler Orthodontics and meet their professional staff. Dr. Beeler and his team have the latest in orthodontics technology, and they work with each patient individually to custom tailor the most effective treatment plan for the best results. Beeler Orthodontics is a proud sponsor of high school sports.
Beeler Orthodontics, Lid to Smile, love your smile.
iTalk 106.7 and on the web at iTalk1067.com. Don't forget, you can check out this game and previous games anytime throughout the week. Just go to iTalk1067.com and go to the sports page. Actually, it's on the front page, and you can check that out. About ready for second half kickoff. Just under 2 minutes, and let's go down to Brandon Todd, our sideline reporter. Had a chance to talk with the Blue Ridge coaching staff. Brandon?
Thanks, Mike. I asked Coach Bill London what that message was to his team at half. Obviously, Bill London not the head coach, but he said, you know what? Our message was, hey, you're in this game. You're up 1. Don't let up. Keep your foot on the grass. Keep your foot on the gas and take it to these guys. It's their homecoming. Let's spoil the fun and let's win this game. So a message of just keep up the intensity, don't let up, and we're going to pull out this win, Mike.
All right, thank you very much, Brandon. And Punt, the Jackets don't have a very thick playbook. Not a whole lot of plays, so probably not a whole lot of adjustments probably on the Jacket side, but keep the intensity up, keep the motivation up.
Oh, absolutely. They have plenty to be motivated about, as we talked about, and it comes down to execution a lot of times. Snowflake, a larger team up front at the line of scrimmage, and that's the key. That's the key for Blue Ridge, is that point of attack on offense. And but execution, as you know, size necessarily doesn't always win out the day. If you can execute, that makes a huge difference, and I'm sure that's part of the message as well.
All right, I want to also thank the White Mountain Youth Productions and Show Low TV for bringing you live video coverage of tonight's contest. Punt?
Yeah, and real quick, let's cover those folks. Technical directors tonight, Nicole Krause, Chelsea Weir, audio, Dimitri Nez, Kevin Bastian. Graphics tonight, Julio Juarez, McKenna Legg, and on camera, Eli Martineau, Lisa Nickel, Jessa Hunt, Aubrey Callender, and Braden Neff, and of course the student advisor, Denise Westover from Snowflake, and then with City 4, the general manager, Mel West. Thanks to all of them.
All right, as we are about set for the Northland Pioneer College kickoff, when it comes time to kick off your college education, choose the college with the lowest tuition in Arizona, and the Lobos definitely ready for the kickoff, as they have been ready for the second half to start for quite a while. Also want to thank for sponsoring tonight's contest, Ace Hardware and Pine Top Heber and Sholo, Sunrise Park Resort, Horn Auto Center, Octopus Car Wash, Beeler Orthodontics, Brown & Russo Insurance, Black Diamond Auto Glass, the Indian Pine Restaurant at Honda, Northland Pioneer College, and Summit Regional Medical Center. We are set for the second half kickoff, brought to you by Hatch Motor Company. Luis Rosales sends it to the right side. Fielded there inside the 10, brought out across the 20 to the 25, and snowed under on a big pile of bodies out to 27-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for Lobos. They get the ball as they defer here to the second half.
Looks like Tristan Johnson along with Nick Jones in on the tackle for the Jackets there.
I guess I better get my roster back out here. Haven't quite memorized all the players. So the ball is spotted at the 27-yard line, 1st and 10. Lobos running left to right across your radio dial. Tight formation for the Lobos. Claridge will stay in at the shotgun. To his left, Solomon. Give to him up the middle. Has a little bit of breathing room across the 30. Penrod on the tackle for the Jackets. And Coy London in there helping out as well. Pickup of 3.
Well, early contact also by Timmy Entrikin from that defensive front for the Jackets, but credit the runner, Patterson, just forging ahead after the initial contact and getting some extra yards.
On 2nd and 7. Same formation for the Lobos. Going to try that play again, except now it's a bounce outside for Trent Hatch. Hurdles one player, cannot get out of the grasp with Penrod, who got him from behind, but not before Hatch has a Horn Auto Center 1st down for the Lobos at the 38-yard line.
And a good read by Hatch. As you say, Mike, he was cutting upfield, trying to get in just outside the end, but recognizing the pursuit, bounces out, and a good read by him to get that extra yardage for the 1st down.
Lobos will stay in their tight formation. 3 backs in the backfield. 2 backs with Claridge. Give it to Willis on the counter. Penrod right there to meet him at the 40-yard line. And Willis doesn't get much more than a 2-yard pickup on that 1st down play. They bring up second. They're going to give him 3 to the 41. Going to bring up second down and 7.
And Lane Penrod for the Jackets, you know, we've called his name just a couple of times real quick, back-to-back. You know, a very active linebacker for these Jackets. As we mentioned, he played for the Lobos last year. This time coming back to Blue Ridge and just doing an outstanding job for them defensively.
Claridge going to try Willis again. He's on the end around, and he turns the corner. Penrod right there to meet him. But again, Willis for another 3 yards, maybe 2. And Lobo's going to have a third and manageable situation, and where the Jackets are going to have to honor both the run and the pass on 3rd and 4.
And they're doing a good job of mixing it up. Are the Lobos offensively going up the middle between the tackles and also moving outside, so showing Blue Ridge a whole different set of runs, but they have yet to pass the Lobos so far in this possession.
This drive started at the Lobo 27. They now have it at the 44. Snap to Claridge. Now looking to throw. Looking to the outside. It's complete to Keegan Bjorn, and he escapes the tackle at the 47. Across midfield, finally knocked out of bounds by Tristan Johnson at the 40-yard line. The 41. Crow had him stopped for negligible gain, but credit to senior Bjorn for escaping that tackle and picking up a Horn Auto Center first down for the Lobos.
And as you say, John Crow, number 34, a sophomore on the coverage, was there, just could not make the tackle.
And again, the Lobos come in with their tight set. Take the snap, give it to Solomon. Excuse me, that's Hatch. Hatch is getting a few more carries here in tonight's contest, and he has it across inside the 40 to the 37. Lane Penrod again in there. Both Penrods in there on the tackle. Going to bring up second down and 6.
Luis Rosales as well coming up from his safety position to help out on that tackle, but not after a big gain. So Snowflake hitting on all cylinders here early with their first possession of the second half.
Like a machine rolling down the field as Claridge takes a snap, give it to Patterson. Patterson hit at the line of scrimmage, breaks a tackle there inside the 35 to the 34. Pick up a 4 on the play, going to bring up 3rd and 3. For the Lobos. Freya almost had him at the line of scrimmage, but credit Patterson for getting away.
Excellent effort by Patterson. Second effort, Blaine Hebuck also having to come in from his corner position to finish off the tackle. But as you say, great effort by Patterson.
And you know, it's interesting. I have not Solomon in there at the up back. Give to Willis on the counter. Has room inside the tackle. Ooh, had some room, but Coy London stopped the blocker, and Lane Penrod got him from behind, but he does pick up 3. It's going to set up a 4th and short, though, at the Yellow Jacket 32.
Snowflake, of course, will go for it here, and it looked like on that run that he would have room to be able to bust off the first down, but credit that Blue Ridge linebacker core coming in quickly to shut down that gap.
So on 4th and 1, always got to be aware of Alex Solomon for the Lobos. He's not the deep man. It's a heavy backfield. It's Patterson, Alex Patterson. He gets the direct snap. He's going to try the right side. Cut it up inside. He's got blockers inside the 30, into the side the 20. Ball's loose. Ball's loose, and they're going to say that he was down. LaGrange out there getting a great kick-out block that allowed Patterson to cut it up inside and pick up a Horn Auto Center first down for the Lobos. Back to the 17-yard line. 1st and 10.
Well, that's that load or bunch or whatever you want to call formation. It's basically 2 walls. You got the line of scrimmage, and then right behind them a wall of backs. Out on that right side, direct snap to the quarterback, and he just runs behind that wall.
Claridge back in at quarterback in the shotgun. Solomon to his left, fake to him. He wants to throw. He's got a man wide open. It's Tate. He's tackled immediately by Hebuck, but not before Tate has a good pickup on first down inside at about the 11-yard line, I should say. Could be second down and 4 for the Lobos.
And the Lobos with this first possession here in the second half, picking up really where they left off with their last possession of the first half, just executing the run and pass game very effectively and moving the length of the field here against this Blue Ridge defense.
Lobos have eaten up about 5 minutes of clock here in the 3rd quarter. Take the snap, Claridge give, and met immediately. Looked like Penrod, the younger, on the tackle on Alex Patterson.
Colton Penrod, number 17, shooting the gap from that weak side, backside linebacker position and reading it well to get into the backfield and make a good tackle there for the Jackets.
Lobos obviously saw something they like about this formation where they have everybody in tight, double tight end. Solomon goes up and plays fullback. And they have just the one wing and Claridge in the shotgun. Send a man in motion. Fake to him, looking to throw. Man wide open. It's Willis in the end zone. Touchdown, Lobos from 11 yards out. And just like that, in the opening drive of the third quarter,
that's
the Lobos, Punt take their first lead of the game. They now lead 12-7 with a Black Diamond Auto Glass touchdown for the Lobos.
Well, that's a great call by the coaching staff, and combine that with a busted coverage on the Blue Ridge side. But as you say, the receiver wide open in the corner, deep corner of the end zone for a wide open pass to get a touchdown on their first possession of the second half.
And the Lobos going to go for 2 as they set up that heavy formation with 3 backs in the backfield with Patterson in the shotgun. And the Jackets, well, who called timeout? Jackets. Jackets called the timeout. We'll keep it right here. We'll take our break after the we will take our break after the point after try. We'll keep it here for right now.
Well, you had mentioned, Mike, there's that load formation, I don't know what bunch or whatever we're going to call it, and you say there's 3 backs in the backfield, and, for the folks that are out there, 2 of those backs are big linemen.
Yes.
So it's pretty clear where they're going to run the ball, and it's just a double wedge out on that right side for the quarterback that receives the snap, and he just bails in behind that double wedge. And I'm guessing that's why Coach London called the timeout. He wants to make sure that their defensive adjustments are being made.
Tough to defend that up the middle.
Well, I'm sure they're moving linebackers and safeties over to try to match the number advantage.
Well, maybe you could sneak somebody in from the backside because Patterson is back in the backfield about 7 yards at quarterback.
Right.
So both teams have broken the huddle and are now ready for this. Obviously, in Coach London's mind, a very important conversion attempt here. Lobos on top, 12-7. Going for the 2 points. Patterson in the shotgun. Takes a snap. He wants to throw it, and it is complete. Complete to Zach Solomon for the 2-point conversion. Coverage was there, but credit Patterson and Solomon for better execution.
Well, and the pass perfectly placed because of that great coverage.
So our Black Diamond Hourglass reads the Lobos 14, the Jackets 7. We'll step away. You're listening to Hatch Motor Company's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7 and on the web at iTalk1067.com.
Black Diamond Auto Glass provides the finest full-service mobile and in-shop glass repair services, from free chip repair to windshield replacement, tinting, and more. We're here to pamper you and your car.
Black Diamond Auto Glass. Yeah.
Snowflake High School, where the Lobos have turned the tide, and they lead the Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets 14-7 as we are set for the Northland Pioneer College kickoff for the Lobos. And it's a low line drive kick fielded at the 25-yard line. Looks like that's Tristan Johnson. He breaks through at the 35 and is tackled at the 40, but the Jackets will have good field position to start their first possession of the second half and punt. The Lobos almost took up that entire third quarter with that drive.
Well, a long drive, and as we said at the break, at the halftime, certainly that was going to be something that the Lobos wanted to adjust for in the second half, is to get their running game going, and they did a great job there, not only eating up a lot of the clock, but keeping that Blue Ridge defense on the field as well.
And we'll see how the Jackets come back and retaliate as they send Nick Jones wide to the right. Wilkening it to go under center. I-backs behind him. Johnson is the deep man. Wilkening takes a snap, give it to Johnson off the right side, and there's a big hole for him there across the 45. Forward progress stopped at the 46-yard line. Gain of 5 on the play. It'll bring up second down and 5. Now they back it up to the 45.
So Blue Ridge with that first run here in the second half able to pop off a nice gain there.
One of their biggest runs, probably.
Yeah, I was going to say something we didn't really see much of in that first half.
So the Jackets break the huddle. Same formation, sending Jones wide right. Intrican, the tight end, to the right side as well. Ibach's behind Wilkening. On second down and a long 5. Wilkening takes a snap, going to try to Johnson again, and he is met in the backfield. It's LaGrange right there. He's been the man in the middle for the Lobos all night, and he blows that one up and drops Johnson back for a 3-yard loss.
And that's just great penetration from the defensive front by the Lobos, getting into the backfield, and Johnson really having no chance to find any space to make a run.
So it's going to set up the Jackets for another 3rd and long situation, 3rd and 7 or 8. Right in between there. And Wilkening may have to go to the air right here. Alder lined up wide in the near side. Ibach's again behind Wilkening. Take the snap, fake it. He wants to pass. Getting pressure from the back. Turns the corner, throws it, and it's complete to Lane Penrod for the Horn Auto Center. First down across midfield to the Lobo 48. Knocked out of bounds by Kurt Wood, but it was enough for the first down.
Well, just good execution when they needed the yardage, finding the open man, not a big window to throw in. So credit Wilkening with good execution on that rollout.
Kind of might have expected that one, but obviously the execution better there for the Jackets. Jackets flop the formation, send Jones wide to the near side. Ibach's again behind Wilkening. On the Horn Auto Center, first down, give to the deep man. That's Rosales. And not much doing there. He might have got to the 45-yard line, but nothing more. Pickup of 2. No, they're going to just say 1. Boy, the spot on the far, they keep going to the spot on the far side, but we have a pretty clear shot on this side, and it seems to be a bit different.
Yeah. And I got to tell you, Mike, that's a very congested line of scrimmage for those Blue Ridge running backs to try to find space, and Rosales doing what he can, but not a lot of room up there right now for him to run through.
So they're gonna say no gain on the play for all intents and purposes. Second down and 10. Alder the wide out to the near side. Jones the slot. Run the option. And ball is loose, and I think Wilkening fell on it. But the fumble on the exchange as the Jackets try and run the veer option, and Penrod and Wilkening kind of have a mishap there. They lose 2 yards back to almost midfield. They'll set up 3rd down and 12.
Well, it looked like Wilkening attempting to pull that ball out of Penrod with that end crashing, as you say, off reading that option, and in the process fumbling the ball. But credit Wilkening for thinking quickly and moving quickly to recover that fumble.
Jackets go to the shotgun. Wilkening stands back there. Takes a snap, looks to throw. Here comes a big rush. Wow, nobody there. But Wilkening somehow gets away, rolls left, throws it deep. He's got Rosales and the pylon, but he overthrew everybody. Rosales was open. I don't know how Wilkening got away. He probably should have run it. Had room to run it. LaGrange had him in the grass, but somehow Wilkening gets away, and it'll bring up 4th down and long.
And a big block, but I couldn't see the lineman for Blue Ridge, but as Wilkening squeezes away, lays out a good block to open up space for Wilkening.
Well, Wilkening has not been real accurate on the throws here so far tonight, as Intrican will come in for the Jackets to punt. Tate back to receive. The punt's away, nearly blocked, and Wilkening gets off. Intrican gets off a nice punt, fielded by Willis, and they're going to whistle that one on. I didn't see the fair catch call, but he must have.
Well, I think he did call the fair catch, and the tackler, I think that's Colton Penrod.
I think it is.
I think he thought that the ball was loose because it bounced off his chest plate, shoulder pad chest plate. Looked like he might fumble it.
That's a tough one for the Jackets. It did look like he might have fumbled it. So let's go down to our sideline reporter, Brandon Todd, who had a good look at that one.
Yeah, what had happened was it was a late fair catch call, but it was a fair catch call. And I think you're exactly right. Either that or the person who hit him, I didn't catch the name or the number either, but either he had his head down and wasn't looking. It was a late fair catch call, but it was also a clear fetch call, fair catch call. Mike?
All right, thank you very much, Brandon. The officials were talking about it, though, because I think the fumble might have I don't know if the fumble matters a lot if you muff the punt. Let's go down.
Kick, catch, interference. on the kicking team. 15-yard penalty, first down.
15-yard penalty as the Jackets would have had him pinned deep. Instead, the Lobos get good field position out to the 28-yard line. They'll have it there, 1st and 10, and a 7-point lead.
You know, we got to credit Timmy Entrican for his punting tonight. He's just been outstanding with his distance he's been getting.
Claridge, direct snap to Solomon, and he has a couple of yards across the 30. I can't see very well tonight. We're just not up high enough. Of course, if we were up higher, it might be a little colder. So I don't know.
That's Vince Friot again, doing a great job from his nose tackle position, along with Lane Penrod in on the tackle on that direct snap to the back.
2nd down and 7 for the Lobos. Try the end around sweep. Willis cuts it up inside. Would have been tackled for a loss. Instead, turns it into something positive. Picks out 1 yard. Solomon with a big block on Ruloff. And it'll bring up a 3rd down and 6 for the Lobos. And Jackets probably need to find some way to hold here as we check in with the Black Diamond Auto Glass scoreboard. 2:05 to go in the 3rd quarter. Lobos on top 14-7. Claridge going to stay in the shotgun. Everybody else is in the backfield. Take the snap. Give it to Willis. He cuts it up inside. Has room across to the outside. Running free and finally knocked out of bounds by Rosales. But not before Willis has a Horn Auto Center 1st down to the 40-yard line.
Well, Snowflake able to get outside and blow up the edge on that Blue Ridge defense. Something that hasn't happened with a lot of frequency tonight. You know, with that Blue Ridge defense, usually pretty tough out on the edge, but that time they were able to get outside with the big game.
Looks like the Jackets get a lot of guys in the backfield, but nobody making the tackle.
Go, boys, come on. Let's go, boys.
On 1st and 10, Lobos. Claridge takes the shotgun snap. He wants to throw. Looking deep. He's got a man. It's JT Tate complete at the 30, to the 20, to the 10, and tackled there. Touchdown saving tackle. I can't see who
John
that is.
Crow, no.
Is that Lane Penrod?
I'm not sure.
But JT Tate was open by a good 3 or 4 yards and just gets tackled at the 7-yard line.
I guess John Crow again, number 34. They've been picking on him, have the Lobos pretty consistently out on that corner position. Crow, only a sophomore, starting for the Jackets tonight. Doing a fairly good job on some of the coverage, but he gets burned on that one.
And it is a Horn Auto Center 1st down for the Lobos. 1st and goal to go from the 7. Set up that heavy backfield again. Claridge will stay in at quarterback, though. He's going to run it up the middle. Excuse me, that is Patterson. And they do push the pile forward to the 5. However, there is a penalty flag on the play. This one's probably going to go, well, it might go against Blue Ridge since they didn't blow the play dead. As we will let the officials sort it out. They're talking to Snowflake, so it's probably going to go against Blue Ridge.
And that flag thrown by the line judge.
Oh, this is going to go against Snowflake.
Illegal formation, illegal shift.
Might have had somebody moving or somebody in the backfield that wasn't supposed to. We will get the explanation from our head referee, Paul Hancock, here in just a moment as he discusses the options to the Blue Ridge Yellow Jacket captains. Lane Penrod.
Illegal motion on the offense, 5-yard penalty, replay 1st down.
So it will back up the Lobos 5 yards. We're under a minute to go here in the 3rd quarter. Clock running. 1st and goal to go now from the 12. Claridge back in at quarterback. Take the snap. He's going to run it up the middle. Has a lot of room. Grabbed from behind by Penrod, Lane Penrod. But all the way up to the 6-yard line, almost back to the original line of scrimmage. Picks up 6. Going to bring up 2nd down and goal to go from the 6.
But again, it's that bunch formation out on that right side with the runner really running behind 2 wedges, 6 men total, and that's just a great number advantage for the Lobos. They're just, with the line surge alone, able to push ahead for a big gain.
Patterson now in there at quarterback. Those 3 big backs in the backfield. Take the snap. He's going to try the right side as they pull, and he's going to be dragged from behind, and Rosales, a nice tackle at the 5. Had some room if he would have gotten free, but instead they're going to give him forward progress to the 4.
And Rosales, a safety in the safety position, but really playing like a linebacker. They're coming up good with the big tackle.
And that's going to do it for the third quarter here from Snowflake High School. Our score, the Lobos 14, the Yellow Jackets 7. When we come back, the fourth and final right here on iTalk 106.7 and on the web at iTalk1067.com.
There's no better time to visit Horn Auto Center. Check out the all-new Chevy Silverado. Voted 2014 North American Truck of the Year. Strong for all the roads ahead. Or find new roads with the all-new Corvette Stingray. Voted the 2014 North American Car of the Year. Visit Horn Auto Center on the Deuce of Clubs in Show Low across from Safeway and at hornauto.com. You're at home with Horn since 1991.
Welcome back to Snowflake High School for the fourth and final here. It's been a good one so far, even though it's been low scoring. Our score 14-7. Lobos, though, knocking on the door of the Yellow Jackets at the 4-yard line. They'll be facing second down.
And again, you know, Snowflake in their first possession of the second half, eating up a big chunk of the third quarter to get a score. And doing a great job offensively of just running the ball and also sprinkling in some passing to get that touchdown. Their second of the night. And then here again, moving down the field very effectively against this Blue Ridge defense, something we did not see them do that effectively in the first half.
And excuse me, it is third down. So no doubt 4-down territory for the Lobos here. Jackets have had a hard time holding the Lobos to 2 yards gain as Claridge is at quarterback. Takes a snap, give it to Solomon. Solomon at the goal line, and he's in. Touchdown, Zach Solomon. In from 4 yards out in the Black Diamond Auto Glass. Touchdown for the Lobos.
Well, good blocking at the point of attack by that Lobo line, but credit Solomon as well. He gets ahead of steam. And he hits that hole very hard, very aggressively, keeps the feet moving and able to drive in for the touchdown.
On the first play of the fourth quarter, Solomon goes in and extends the lead for the Lobos 20-7. Looks like the Lobos are going to go for 2, although a lot of confusion. First rushing touchdown of the night for either team. A lot of confusion as Claridge taking a long time getting this one in. And the Lobos are going to have to call a timeout as that one just took way too long. They may decide to go for the field goal at this point, the point after.
Looks like the Lobos took a timeout there.
And so we kind of felt the vibe of the Snowflake Lobos after the first half. Not too excited. Let's go down to our sideline reporter, Brandon Todd, and see if things have changed a little bit on that Snowflake side of things. Brandon?
Well, to say things have changed would be an understatement. There's a lot of energy down here on the Snowflake Lobos sideline, not just amongst the players, but the coaches as well. Obviously, the players want this game. It's homecoming. The homecoming dance is after the game, which is interesting. So you know that it would be a bummer to go to the dance after a loss. So a lot of energy over here after going up by 2 scores on the Snowflake Lobos sideline.
All right, thank you very much, Brandon. Yeah, that'd be kind of a bummer dance.
Yeah, that would be, for sure.
I'm pretty sure in my early days at Blue Ridge, we had a few of those. Losses at homecoming. Not too fun. Lobos set up for offense. Hatch in the backfield, flanking Claridge to his left. Take the snap, fake it to him. They want to throw it. Here comes the pressure. He low throws it up out of the end zone. As it looked like Trey Ruloff providing the pressure, and Claridge had nowhere to go. And so the Lobos fail on the 2-point conversion. And so they lead now as we check in with the Black Diamond Auto Glass scoreboard, 20-7 over the Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets. Don't forget Black Diamond Auto Glass, home of the free chip repair. And also don't forget, we want to thank our sponsor, Brown & Russo Insurance, for all your insurance needs, auto, home, or business. visit the nearest Brown & Rousseau Insurance Agency with 4 locations in Show Low, Pine Top, Springerville, or Tempe. Tonight's broadcast also brought to you by Subway. Eat fresh. And don't forget to stay tuned for our post-game wrap-up show where we'll announce the Honda Outdoor Ski and Sports Store player of the game and the Beeler Orthodontics straight line play of the game. And that touchdown by Zach Sullivan may be in the running for that one. Lobos ready for the Northland Pioneer College kickoff. It's a low end-over-end kick fielded by Hebuck at the 10, out to the 15. Here comes the wedge at the 20 and 25, and not much else doing there. As the pile does continue to move forward, they'll give them forward progress out to the 23-yard line. Blue Ridge will start there, 1st and 10.
Well, it looked like a good old-fashioned rugby scrum there with a big pile, as you say, Mike, and Blue Ridge able to punch out maybe an extra 3, maybe 4 yards. But the big key here for Blue Ridge clearly is to execute offensively. They've got to match some scores here, with Sholo putting up 14 2 quick touchdowns here in the second half.
Jackets will have the win at their back. Wilkening in the shotgun, 2 receivers either side. Low snap, picks it up, tries to do something with it, but he's going to be snowed under. Boy, that Lobo front, all of them in the backfield. Coverage downfield didn't really matter because Wilkening couldn't handle the snap, and it's going to be a loss of 4 on the play.
Well, snap a little low, but Wilkening also leaving early, I think, and not gathering up that snap. But not a good start here for the Jackets. And is this their second possession?
Second possession of the second half.
Yep. And that just tells you how effectively that Snowflake offense has been, not only converting their drives into scores, but eating up a ton of clock here in the second half.
Wilkening comes in off the sideline late with the play. Nick Baker, the center for the Jackets, sets the ball. Wilkening going to stay in the shotgun, trips right. 1 man in the backfield with him. Wilkening wants to throw, has time, and he's going to now be sacked. And guess who? Leon LaGrange leading that defense for the Snowflake Lobos inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. Big loss on the play of 4 yards, and we'll check the penalty.
Well, that's just great play by LaGrange, who's fleet of foot for a big man, coming off that defensive front and able to slide down the line of scrimmage and gather up Wilkening before he can break up field.
And this one could be in the area of defensive holding. Keegan Bjorn trying to plead his case, and the officials told him, go away. And let's go down to our sideline reporter, Brandon Todd. Brandon?
I think it's going to be actually a block in the back. The flag was thrown right in front of me. Again, I didn't see the numbers, but I saw the block. There was a push. It was about 10 yards in front of the play, and the Blue Ridge player, the Snowflake player went down, and I think they might call a block in the back here. That would be my guess, Mike.
All right, thank you very much, Brandon. As the officials still talking this one over. There could be. I saw 2 flags, kind of thrown in different areas. So we'll see it. Don't forget to stay tuned again for the post-game wrap-up show. I want to thank our sponsors for tonight's contest: Ace Hardware and Pine Top, Heber and Sholo, Sunrise Park Resort, Horn Auto Center, Octopus Car Wash, Beeler Orthodontics, Black Diamond Auto Glass, the Indian Pine Restaurant at Honda, Northland Pioneer College, and Summit Regional Medical Center. And Subway, can't forget Subway. And they're going to talk to the Blue Ridge captain, so this is most likely going to go against the Lobos. Also, we got another exciting matchup for you next week as the Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets, these Yellow Jackets, host the Sholo
On the defense, 10-yard penalty from the end of the run. Replay the down.
It is holding against the defense, obviously on a receiver, and that's going to give the Jackets 10 yards, so negate the sack and make this a 2nd down and 9 for Blue Ridge. 1 receiver wide right, slot to the left. I-backs behind Wilkening. Looking to pass, throw the screen, and it's going to be blown up. Keegan Bjorn.
Keegan Bjorn just read that perfectly from that opposite side. It comes up quick and able to blow through the block, the attempted block of a lineman who peels off on the screen, but just outstanding work by Keegan Bjorn on that play.
Tristan Johnson, the receiver, but Bjorn all over that one. Somebody missed the block, and Tristan Johnson paid the price as he loses yardage back to the 22-yard line. Loss of 6, and now a 3rd and 15 for the Jackets. They've been in 3rd and long all night, and it has not gone well. Jackets will send 2 receivers to the far left. Hyden will stay on the right side. That's Entrikin. Wilkening in the shotgun. Wow. That's a delay of game, huh? That was quick.
Delay a game on the offense.
That's going to back the Jackets up another 5 yards.
Well, Wilkening, as standard practice for Blue Ridge for years, you know, the quarterback usually goes to the sideline to get the play from the offensive coordinator. That's certainly part of the delay for them in getting it off. But
didn't seem like he was out there that long, though.
That seemed pretty quick.
All right, Jackets will stay with the trips formation to the left. 1 man in the backfield with Wilkening. That's Lane Penrod. Wilkening takes the snap. He wants to throw. Looking left. Here comes the pressure. It's Zach Solomon. He loses it. It's fumble, but Eccles right there to recover it for the Jackets. But deep in their own territory, they're going to give them forward progress to the 7. And the Jackets are face a 4th and forever and be forced to punt from deep in their own end zone. Boy, how can you? I'm not sure how you can let Zach Solomon come through free.
Well, you know, the pressure from that Lobo front has just been outstanding against Blue Ridge and Wilkening in particular when he's trying to get those passes off.
Low snap, Entrica handles it, punts it away. It's not one of his best. Takes a hop at the 40, fielded by Willis. Willis trying to pick up a block on the far sideline. He has room down the sideline, cuts it back up inside the 20, the 10, and Willis. Touchdown, Tanner Willis for the Lobos. A Black Diamond out of glass touchdown from the 40-yard line, and the Lobos extend.
Well, that's a huge play for Snowflake, and you know, at this stage in the game, Mike, really just putting a dagger in that Blue Ridge Yellow Jacket heart. And Snowflake borrowing from the Blue Ridge playbook on the old picket fence there on that punt return, and executed it perfectly.
And unfortunately for the Lobos, that was Timmy Entrican's one lone average punt, and it cost the Jackets dearly as Tanner Willis took it 40 yards for the touchdown. 5'11", 154-pound junior. Also was a bad snap on that one, and Entrican was already at the back of his end zone. So the Lobos again will go for 2. Regular offense. Claridge looking to throw. Has a man wide open. Touchdown. It's Zach Solomon. 2-point conversion. And that'll make the score. As we look at the Black Diamond Auto Glass scoreboard with 8:14 to go in the 4th. The Lobos, they lead 28-7 over the Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets. We'll step away. You're listening to Hatch Motor Company's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7 on the web at iTalk1067.com.
Hi folks, Gentry Hatch here. Let's face it, in today's world, there are a lot of tools out there to help you buy a car. An iPhone, Kelly Blue Book, the list goes on and on.com. At Hatch Motor Company in Snowflake and Sholo, we know that you can and will find the best deal for you. We will even help you find it if you don't happen to have a smartphone, which I believe everybody does. Remember, no hassle, no pressure, simply the best in service and sales. Hatch Motor Company in Snowflake and in Sholo, and online all the time at hatchmotorco.com.
Back to Snowflake High School, where the Lobos have made the halftime adjustments, and they come out firing on all cylinders here in the second half. They lead 28-7 as we are set for their latest version of the Northland Pioneer College kickoff. At the 40, short end over end kick, fielded by Rosales at the 22. Brings it out across the 30, and not much more there. Lobos have just stuffed all forms of running for the Jackets here tonight.
Yeah, in the second half, you know, in the first half they put up a really good defensive stand against that Blue Ridge rush game, and here in the second half certainly improved upon that. We're just having a very difficult time moving the ball.
No, there's a fumble on the game, and the Lobos have it. And things are gone from bad to worse for the Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets as they cough it up, and the Lobos will have it 1st and 10 at their own 33-yard line.
And if I'm not mistaken, the Lobos, having scored on every single possession of theirs so far in this second half, you know, they go into the locker room down 7-6, and since then they've scored 3 touchdowns just here in the second half.
We'll go down the sidelines here after this next play, but Lobos on 1st and 10. Claridge has Solomon in the backfield, bring Willis in motion, fake to him, give to Solomon. Up the middle, upended there, and not much of a gain. Well, they're going to give him forward progress, a 3-yard pickup inside the 30. And let's go down to our sideline reporter, Brandon Todd. Brandon?
Hey, thanks, Mike. I saw the Snowflake Lobos during that pileup on the kick return, pointing as if it was a fumble, but I didn't see the ball come out. Well, a gentleman just walked up beside me here who's down here on the Snowflake Lobos sideline taking pictures, and he got a great shot of it. Their ball is coming out as the defender's going down. Clearly a fumble. Good call by the referees.
All right, thank you very much, Brandon. As the Lobos on 2nd down, give to Hatch up the middle. He's got room inside the 25 to the 24 and very close to a 1st down. It's going to depend on the spot. And it's going to be just shy. 3rd down and 1. So the Lobos taking a little time getting this play in off the sideline. We're getting pelted by balls, shirts, bugs, everything else up here. 3rd down and short. Claridge stays in the shotgun. Patterson in motion. Claridge wants to throw, dumps it off now, and it's complete. And complete to, I don't have a number, but it's inside the 20 and good for Horn Auto Center. 1st down for the Lobos, as again they have had their offense going all night here tonight. 6:45 to go in the 4th quarter. They lead 28-7.
Well, especially here in the second half, have the Lobos just executing very well offensively, and you know, the Blue Ridge defense has been on the field a ton here in the second half.
Claridge takes a snap, give it to Willis on the end around, getting to the outside now, sheds a tackler by Hebuck, and finally brought down by Rosales, but not before Willis with a big gain. And excuse me, I believe that's J.T. Tate on the carry, not Willis. And he's got a Horn Auto Center 1st down inside the 10. Ball will be spotted at about the 6-yard line.
You know, I'd be really curious to see. I mean, we don't have the usual iTalk stat machine going like we used to have with time of possession, but clearly the advantage here in the second half in particular with Snowflake Lobos.
On 1st down, Claridge gives right up ahead to Patterson. He's running right behind his big line, and they get big push almost to the end zone. He's going to be stopped just shy at about the 2. Going to bring up 2nd down and goal. Clock running. 6 minutes to go in this one.
You know, Snowflake in their offensive with their running game, they like to throw a lot of guys up the hole, you know, by pulling tackles, pulling guards, also loading those holes with backs. And, you know, there's 4 blockers ahead of these runners. They're just doing an outstanding job of finding space at the line of scrimmage.
Hatch will be in the backfield. He'll get the carry, and he's in the end zone. Touchdown, Lobos. Piling it on the Snowflake Lobos. Have got their offense going this second half, and they score another Black Diamond Auto Glass touchdown, this time from 2 yards out. And Hatch with the 6 points that time. As we check that Black Diamond Auto Glass scoreboard with 5:34 to go. Lobos 34, the Yellow Jackets 7. And looks like the Lobos going to go for 2 again. They must have absolutely no field goal kicker.
Well, we saw the one attempt they did make after their first touchdown not make it, so.
Patterson takes the direct snap. He goes off the left side where nobody is, cuts it inside, and gets the 2-point conversion over pursuit for the Jackets. Allows Patterson in, makes our score Lobos 36, Jackets 7. We'll step away. You're listening to Hatch Motor Company's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7 and on the web at iTalk1067.com.
In today's challenging economy, having a college education is a must. Northland Pioneer College is here to help you prepare for your future. NPC is committed to providing you with the highest quality education, with the lowest tuition cost in the state. We offer a variety of advanced learning classes to prepare you for a transfer or associate's degree, personal interest education, or earning your GED.
Contact an academic advisor for more information. Go online at npc.edu.
I know, I remember the time when we used to have stats, when we used to have good stats. Welcome back to Hatch Motor Company's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7. And of course, you can always watch it live or on replay at iTalk1067.com. The Lobos with another Northland Pioneer College kickoff for the home of the lowest tuition in the state of Arizona. Visit our friends at Northland Pioneer College as Hebuck fields it at the 5, brings it out at the 10, the 15, and he's going no further as he is snowed under. First man there, Dalen Flake for the Lobos. And things not much going the Jackets' way here in the second half.
Well, offensively especially, defensively not much working as well, with Snowflake, you know, reversing the tide from the first half, where Snowflake just could not really mount a big drive with any of their possessions in order to score, except for that very last possession where they were able to get on the board. Here in the second half, it's just been completely Snowflake Lobos, with the Lobos executing offensively very well. Blue Ridge, on the other hand, just not able to move the ball hardly at all.
From the 16-yard line, 1st and 10. Wilkeny goes under center. Take the snap, give it to the deep man, that's Rosales. He tries off left tackle, and Lobos are just standing him up and trying to get the ball away from him, trying to get another turnover. It'll be a pickup of 1. Going to bring up 2nd down and 9.
Blue Ridge, you know, as we talk, Mike, just really not able to break off any runs of any significance at all tonight offensively, with the lone score for the Jackets coming on a pass play in the first quarter.
On 2nd down and 9, a little bit of confusion in the backfield. Now Wilkening sets him eye backs. Rosales is the deep man with a man in motion. Give it to the up man, though. That's Penrod. And Penrod sees a little bit of daylight up the middle and picks up.
And that's Colton Penrod.
Excuse me, yeah, that's Colton Penrod. I bet Lane's pretty tired.
I think there's going to be a lot of Yellow Jackets tired. They have a lot of players going both ways due to the Jackets. And, you know, the theme for this second half in particular is the Blue Ridge defense has been on the field a ton.
On 3rd and 5, Jackets, one of their more manageable 3rd down situations, puts Wilkeny under center. Take the snap, give it to the deep man, that's Rosales, and he falls forward to the 25-yard line. Going to probably be about 2 yards shy. As no, they spot him all the way back to the 23-yard line. So it's going to bring up 4th down and 3, and the punting unit will come in for the Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets.
And defensively, Snowflake just basically putting up a 4-man front, sometimes a 5. And then the linebackers, for the most part, have been blitzing inside, and that's been working very effectively for the Lobos here, and limiting Blue Ridge's defense or offense this entire second half.
From the 11-yard line, Entrican this time gets this one up high and long, fielded by Willis. Fair catch at the 44-yard line. Nick Jones there to make sure nothing else extra happened, and the Lobos will take over. Black Diamond Auto Glass tells us there's 3:21 to go in this one. Lobos comfortably on top, 36-7. Don't forget to go visit Black Diamond Auto Glass, home of the free chip repair, theoretically for life. I don't know anybody that's going to own their car for life, but if you do, you get free chip repair if you take your car's window repair to Black Diamond Auto Glass.
Life of the car, not the owner.
Well, yeah, but still,
I know.
That's a long time. I mean, I'm driving a 1999 Jeep. That's a long time. Right?
There you go.
There you go.
How many windshields would you go through?
Well, I've probably
Chip
been through
repairs.
2 or 3 already. So
there you go.
On first down, give to Cron. He's got a lot of room up the right side, and he could go. Cuts it back up inside. Hebuk made him come up inside. And a 22-yard pickup on first down for Luke Cron. Substitution for the Lobos to the Yellow Jacket 35-yard line, and a Horn Auto Center first down for the Lobos.
Another big gain by the Lobos on the ground, so their running game doing much, much better here in the second half. The offensive line doing a great job of opening up a big hole. Cron wasn't even touched until he got to the safeties on that play.
One thing we both know Coach Lennon will not stand for is any quit. On first down, give on the sweep to Hatch. Hatch tries to cut it back up inside. Excuse me, that is Baird getting one of his few carries of the night. Can't quite turn the corner, though, and only a pickup of 2. Clock continues to run. Ball spotted at the Yellow Jacket 33-yard line. 2:30 to go. And the Lobos will take a lot of time running plays in and out here down to the last second, as Willis will bring the play in. Claridge remains in at quarterback, and he will be in the shotgun. Hatch to his left. Send him in motion. Direct snap to 30. I believe that's another Solomon. Or is that 32? Daylon Flake takes a big hit from the younger Penrod and gets it down to the 30-yard line. Pickup of 3. Going to bring up 3rd down and 5.
They stand up Flake at the line of scrimmage, do the Yellow Jackets defensively, and you can see them getting active and trying to strip the ball from Flake, not able to on that carry.
So the Lobos probably just need to get one more first down here, and that will do it. Claridge in the shotgun, give it to Hatch. He's going to try right side, has some room, and is cut under, and he's going to be just shy of the first down marker, about a yard shy. It'll bring up 4th down and 1. And actually a long one. But no, I mean, I got to imagine Lobos are going to go for it here.
Certainly.
1:12 to go. And just trying to run this one out. They'll probably wait till under a minute, maybe call a timeout. Instead, they're going to send Patterson in and Willis, and they're going to run what looks like their normal offense. Try to pick up this first down. And they have to call a timeout.
Snowflake.
Timeout, Snowflake. We will step away with 50 seconds to go in this one. You're listening to Hatch Motor Company's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7 and on the web at iTalk1067.com.
Hi folks, Gentry Hatch here. Let's face it, in today's world, there are a lot of tools out there to help you buy a car. An iPhone, Kelly Blue Book, the list goes on and on.com. At Hatch Motor Company in Snowflake and Sholo, we know that you can and will find the best deal for you. We will even help you find it if you don't happen to have a smartphone, which I believe everybody does. Remember, no hassle, no pressure, simply the best in service and sales. Hatch Motor Company in Snowflake and in Sholo, and online all the time at hatchmotorco.com.
By number 62, Dominic West, but not before he has the Horn Auto Center first down for the Lobos, and that should do it, as the Lobos will be able to take a knee and run this clock out. Don't forget to stay tuned for the post-game wrap-up show, where we will announce the Honda Outdoor Ski and Sports Store player of the game, as well as the Beather Orthodontics straight line play of the game. Also want to thank all of our sponsors: Subway, Ace Hardware in Pine Top, Heber and Sholo, Sunrise Park Resort, Horn Auto Center, Octopus Car Wash, Beeler Orthodontics, Brown & Rousseau Insurance, Black Diamond Auto Glass, the Indian Pine Restaurant at Honda, Northland Pioneer College, Summit Regional Medical Center, and of course, this whole contest brought to you by Hatch Motor Company in Snowflake and Sholo. Simply the best in service and sales. That's going to do it Our final score, the Snowflake Lobos 36, the Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets 7. We'll be back with the post-game wrap-up show right after this.
Orthodontist Dr. Joshua Beeler has been providing family-friendly orthodontics in Show Low and the entire White Mountains since 2006. If you need braces, stop in and see the friendly folks at Beeler Orthodontics and meet their professional staff. Dr. Beeler and his team have the latest in orthodontics technology, and they work with each patient individually to custom tailor the most effective treatment plan for the best results. Beeler Orthodontics is a proud sponsor of high school sports. Beeler Orthodontics, live to smile, love your smile.
Hi folks, Gentry Hatch here. Let's face it, in today's world, there are a lot of tools out there to help you buy a car. An iPhone, Kelly Blue Book, the list goes on and on.com. At Hatch Motor Company in Snowflake and Show Low, we know that you can and will find the best deal for you. We will even help you find it if you don't happen to have a smartphone, which I believe everybody does. Remember, no hassle, no pressure, simply the best in service and sales. Hatch Motor Company in Snowflake and in Show Low, and online all the time at hatchmotorco.com.
There's no better time to visit Horn Auto Center. Check out the all-new Chevy Silverado. Voted 2014 North American Truck of the Year. Strong for all the roads ahead. Or find new roads with the all-new Corvette Stingray. Voted the 2014 North American Car of the Year. Visit Horn Auto Center on the Deuce of Clubs in Show Low across from Safeway and at hornauto.com. You're at home with Horn since 1991.
In today's challenging economy, having a college education is a must. Northland Pioneer College is here to help you prepare for your future. NPC is committed to providing you with the highest quality education, with the lowest tuition cost in the state. We offer a variety of advanced learning classes to prepare you for a transfer or associate's degree, personal interest education, or earning your GED.
Contact an academic advisor for more information.
Welcome back to Snowflake High School, the post-game wrap-up show right here on iTalk 106.7. As Mike Granillo here with Punt Cooley and Brandon Todd down on the field will try to get us an interview with the victorious Coach Solomon. As the Lobos on top 36-7 over the Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets. They salvage, or I don't know if salvage is the right word, but the homecoming happiness was in jeopardy in the first half, but the Lobos came out in the second half, Punt, and really took it to the Jackets, scoring 4 touchdowns in the second half and keeping the Jackets off the board.
Well, definitely a tale of 2 completely different halves, that's for sure. You know, Blue Ridge defensively in that first half able to limit Snowflake to just the single touchdown, which, you know, that's a huge feat for sure. And then, you know, with Snowflake making whatever adjustments they talked about at halftime, I mean, their execution during the entire second half was superb offensively, scoring on just about every possession in that second half. And, you know, you got to think that part of it, too, with the Blue Ridge defense being on the field just so much, there's probably a little bit of fatigue factor there for them. But irrespective, I mean, credit Snowflake with their execution in the second half just being completely different than they were able to generate in that first half.
Absolutely, and I'm sure Coach Solomon will have something to say about that as he is downstairs with our sideline reporter, Brandon Todd. And we'll go down to Brandon Todd and Coach Solomon. Brandon?
Thanks, Mike. Yeah, Coach Solomon, after going into half down 1, could have been tied with the PAT. You came out on fire. How happy are you with your guys and the way they performed in that second half?
Very happy with the second half. I've been telling some of the guys along the sideline, if we can get teams to just let us play defense for the first half and then we'll play offense the second half, I think that works for us because we don't, you know, we didn't come out very much on fire on offense, but second half, a few adjustments, but mostly just coming out to play. You know, we told our guys to get with it and own the line of scrimmage a little bit better, and it worked.
Talk about some of the outstanding performances tonight on the offensive end. Obviously, a 29-point win. Turnovers helped with that. You guys got the ball with some good field position, but talk about some of your players and the job they did tonight.
We did, you know, give credit in that second half to the offensive line, first of all, just stepping up and, you know, giving us, we're still, you know, 5, 6, 7 yards at a time, but that's what we need, you know, to be able to sustain drives, get first down. So they did a great job of getting to blocks and especially getting to linebackers, you know. Lane Penrod's a great linebacker. You know, we knew that coming in. He's shown that here on this field for us last year. And he does a great job, and we knew that, you know, controlling him was a key. And when we did, we were successful. And when we didn't get him blocked, then we had a tough time running the ball. So they did a great job. My two H-backs, Alex Patterson and Trent Hatch, both did a great job running the ball the second half. And we told them they're just going to have to get their pads low and just get what they can and expect to get hit when they get into that secondary. And they did a great job. Zach Solomon at fullback, running a little bit, blocking a little bit, catching a few passes. Awesome job by all of them. And, of course, Tyler Claridge directing it all at quarterback. He did a great job, too.
Coach, the schedule doesn't get any easier from here on out, getting toward the last few games of the regular season. You got Sholo coming up. You still got to play Payson, correct? What do you do to prepare for this tough upcoming schedule?
Well, we've been doing it just all season long, focus on making improvements each week, making adjustments that work out here on the field. And once we get those done and run them smoothly, then we seem to do a good job. Payson will be here next week, and so that'll be our total focus for this next week is making sure we take care of the Payson Longhorns when they come over.
Big win on homecoming, Coach. Congratulations. Enjoy the win.
Thank you, Brandon.
You're welcome. Mike?
All right, thank you very much, Brandon, and thanks, Coach Kay Solomon, for taking some time after a big victory, and in order to give us some insight into kind of how they got things turned around there in the second half. It's funny, he mentioned let us play defense in the first half and we'll play offense, but I'm sure he would have taken a little bit more offense in the first half.
Well, definitely, and he recognized that was an area for improvement when he talked about the adjustments, and his point about the line owning the line of scrimmage more and working harder up front. That was certainly the case and came up in spades for the Lobos here in that second half.
I also want to thank one of our sponsors tonight, Brown & Rousseau Insurance. For all your insurance needs, visit the nearest Brown & Rousseau Insurance agency with 4 locations in Sholo, Pine Top, Springerville, and Tempe. And Punt, why don't we go ahead and recap that second half scoring?
Okay, well, it started in the third quarter. Snowflake on their first possession. Tanner Willis getting the reception from Claridge, 11-yard touchdown pass, and then the 2-point conversion successful to bring the score to 14-7 Snowflake. And then in the fourth quarter, and that drive, by the way, ate up most of the third quarter. That was a very long drive for the Lobos. And then the fourth quarter, Snowflake just unleashing a scoring assault against that Blue Ridge defense with just 11:54 in the fourth, 3-yard carry by Zach Solomon for the touchdown. Then the attempted 2-point conversion, no good, to bring the score to 20-7. Then again, Snowflake with just over 8 minutes left in the fourth, the 40-yard punt return by Tanner Willis with a 2-point conversion by from a pass from Claridge to Solomon to bring the score to 28-7. And then finishing off the scoring with about 5 minutes 30 seconds left in the game. Hatch with the Trent Hatch with the 2-yard carry to bring the score, and then Patterson with the 2-point conversion to bring the score to our final score of 36-7.
All right, thank you very much, Punt. It is the post-game wrap-up show right here on iTalk 106.7. When we come back, we will announce the Honda Outdoor Ski and Sports Store Player of the Game, as well as the Beeler Orthodontics Straight Line Play of the Game. We'll be back right after this.
Go online at npc.edu.
Hi folks, Gentry Hatch here. Let's face it, in today's world, there are a lot of tools out there to help you buy a car. An iPhone, Kelley Blue Book, the list goes on and on.com. At Hatch Motor Company in Snowflake and Sholo, we know that you can and will find the best deal for you. We will even help you find it if you don't happen to have a smartphone, which I believe everybody does. Remember, no hassle, no pressure, simply the best in service and sales. Hatch Motor Company in Snowflake and in Sholo, and online all the time at hatchmotorco.com.
Black Diamond Auto Glass provides the finest full-service mobile and in-shop glass repair services, from free chip repair to windshield replacement, tinting, and more. We're here to pamper you and your car.
Black Diamond Auto Glass. Yeah.
Don't let salmonella get funky with your chicken. On average, 1 in 6 Americans will get a foodborne illness this year. So learn the right temperature to cook each type of meat. Keep your family safe at foodsafety.gov.
Sunrise Park Resort is now open every Friday to Monday through Labor Day weekend. Bring the family for a full day of fun and activities, including scenic cliff rides, mountain biking and bike rentals, tube slide, airbag jump, and more. Book your reservation at the Sunrise Hotel with beautiful views of the lake and mountain, or rent a boat at the Sunrise Lake Marina. And make sure you visit our general store for all your camping and fishing needs. For more information, please call 928-735-7669 or visit our website at sunriseskipark.com.
Need a fire?
Welcome back to the post-game wrap-up show right here on iTalk 106.7. Our game of the week was the Snowflake Lobos and the Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets. A homecoming night here at Snowflake, and the dance can commence with happiness in their hearts as the Lobos beat the Yellow Jackets tonight 36-7. And Punt, we've been talking during breaks, trying to figure out who to nominate for the Honda Outdoor Ski and Sports Store Player of the Game. The Player of the Game is brought to you by Honda Outdoor Ski and Sports Store for the best selection of hiking, hunting, fishing, camping gear on the mountain. Go to the Honda Outdoor Ski and Sports Store south of Pine Top on Highway 260. And Punt, give us a rundown of the nominees for tonight's award.
Well, where do we start? I mean, Coach Solomon talked about, some of the big producers tonight, especially in that second half. He wasted no time in appropriately singling out his entire offensive line for the great work they did. I mean, they just basically owned that line of scrimmage in the second half. And, there's a bunch of guys there that certainly, are worthy of a tip of the old hat. When you have a line or an offensive line dominate the way they did in that second half, that's certainly huge accomplishment, and congratulations go out to the Lobo front line. We saw Alex Patterson tonight, Tanner Willis, Keegan Bjorn, I think defensively had a huge game tonight.
Offensively, he caught some big passes. So Trent Hatch, Coach, talked about Trent Hatch and his production tonight. And then, of course, Zach Solomon is always a huge performer. I mean, the list goes on and makes it really, really tough. In the spirit of recognizing just the tough game at the line of scrimmage, and that certainly would have been a key. We talked about that being key for the Snowflake Lobos tonight, defensively and offensively, owning the line of scrimmage. And we saw a lot of good play tonight by Leon LaGrange, number 58, just a junior for the Snowflake Lobos, but playing big-time football game tonight. And I think he's certainly worthy of consideration for player of the game just for his defensive production. We saw him make some big tackles, put a lot of pressure on the quarterback tonight. That was a huge key for that Snowflake Lobo defense. They were in on Wilkening pretty consistently, and LaGrange was always in the mix, on that pressure. And then on the offensive side as well, doing a great job for the Lobos, and just anchored a great offensive and defensive line performance for the Snowflake Lobos. So I think he's certainly worthy of consideration for the player of the game. It seemed like every time there was a tackle for a loss on the Blue Ridge offense, it was LaGrange right there leading the way.
Yeah, he's quick. He's strong, he's big, he's physical, but he's got some quick feet. Just an outstanding football player in general. But he just his performance tonight just, I think, outshone everyone else's. And like I said, I think he's certainly worthy of the player of the game nod for tonight's football game.
Well, there you go, and there you have it. Leon LaGrange, 5'11", 211-pound junior offensive and defensive lineman for the Snowflake Lobos, our Honda Outdoor Ski and Sports Store Player of the Game. For the best selection of hiking, hunting, fishing, and camping gear on the mountain, go to the Honda Outdoor Ski and Sports Store south of Pine Top on Highway 260. We want to thank them for sponsoring our Player of the Game, and congratulations to Leon LaGrange. And now, Punt, we need to talk about the Beeler Orthodontics Straight Line Play of the Game. Beeler Orthodontics, live to smile, love your smile.
Well, you know, I think one play that really kind of put the nail in the coffin as far as just Snowflake being able to gain the momentum in a big way and then really put the game out of reach for Blue Ridge was that touchdown by Zach Solomon, the first score in the fourth quarter after having scored on their first possession in the third quarter. You know, that brought the score to 20-7, and that's, I think, the one thing that really kind of put it out of reach for Blue Ridge. But I think the one that got the fans, this big homecoming crowd that we had tonight, it's fun to watch, and it's always, you know, when you get a big kick return, that always sets the crowd off, and that was certainly the case tonight on Tanner Willis on that 40-yard punt return. Very well executed by the Lobos with that picket fence set up. We're able to slice through that Blue Ridge defense, and you know, that was the touchdown that followed Zach Solomon's rush in for the second touchdown of the second half for the Lobos. But that punt return by Willis, I think, was, you know, certainly the most exciting thing for tonight's football game for the crowd in particular, and it just really solidified the victory in a lot of ways. So I think that's certainly one that we should probably take a nod and say that was probably the most exciting play of the game and worthy of the designation for play of the game.
Absolutely. That's Tanner Willis's 40-yard touchdown run, the Baylor Orthodontics straight line play of the game. And punt, the Snowflake Lobos now will host the Payson Longhorns, and we know Payson has been playing much better football this year. They like to run the ball as well. Lobos obviously have to have a good week of practice and continue their defensive performance they had here tonight.
Well, and the other thing they're going to run into with Payson is a well-sized team like theirs. I mean, when you look at the physicality of offensive lines in particular and defensive lines, I think Payson is one team in the state right now that matches up really well against Snowflake, both in terms of size and just how physical they play. So that'll be a really interesting game. I'd be curious to see what the score ends up being in that football game.
Absolutely. And for the Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets, a tough night here tonight. They played with the Lobos for the first half, but things kind of became unraveled for them in the second half, and they gave up a lot of points. Next week doesn't get any easier, although they do go home, but they will host the Show Low Cougars, and we've seen what their offense can do to opponents.
Yeah, that's going to be a tough battle for sure. I think the biggest challenge for Blue Ridge this year, the theme for them, you know, with all the close games that we had talked about at the top of the game that Blue Ridge has had so far this year, I think it's a function of just offensively. You know, they're not as high a production as we're used to seeing with Blue Ridge football teams. They got a lot of young guys, you know, maybe a smaller line than what they're used to seeing. And it's just difficult for them to put up a lot of points. And when you play a team like Sholo, that's something you got to be prepared to do, because defensively, as solid as Blue Ridge is, and they certainly are solid, if they have another game like they had tonight where their defense is on the field for so long and their offense isn't putting points on the board, that's going to be tough duty for the Jackets for sure.
And for Spencer Wilkening, the junior quarterback, his first year at the helm, hasn't had a lot of success so far this season throwing the ball. He's got a strong arm, but not always the most accurate.
And
something he's going to have to improve on?
Yeah, certainly, you know, and but getting the pressure that he's been getting certainly doesn't help things as well. It doesn't do a lot for his confidence, I think. You know, he does have a strong arm. We've seen his ability to run, you know, something that I wouldn't be surprised that the coaches maybe encourage him to do a little bit more when he's out on those rollouts and he has some space to tuck it and run. He has decent speed, but you know, I think the pressure tonight from Snowflake Lobos really frustrated their passing game on the Blue Ridge side, and Spencer unfortunately paid the price for that on a number of sacks, especially in that second half.
Well, Punt, you know, last week we heard from Quentin Clark of the Sholo Cougars talking about their plans to go undefeated and perhaps win a state championship, although there was no perhaps in his comments. I think, though, the Snowflake Lobos may have something to say about that. It should be an exciting one when those two teams face in 2 weeks. But next week, we will have the Sholo Blue Ridge game live for you right here on iTalk 106.7 and on the web at iTalk1067.com. Should be another one, the great rivalry down the road. Two teams that are perennial powerhouses in Division III, now Division III football, and I'm sure this one won't disappoint either.
Well, anytime you talk about Show Low and Blue Ridge, it's always going to be a good high-energy game. Both fan bases, that's, certainly the highlight of the entire football season, I think, in many ways for both high schools. So it's hard to miss football when you're in the White Mountains. Anybody that that knows the tradition of this place up here, Show Low and Blue Ridge always come, that football game every year. And there's others as well. Show Low, Snowflake is going to be huge, as you said. That's becoming more and more of a really super key rivalry up here. But, there's no love lost between those two teams, Show Low and Blue Ridge, but there's also a tremendous amount of respect on both sides as well, just given the tradition of the football programs at both high schools.
No doubt. It should be a fun one. We'll have it for you right here. Don't forget to stay tuned to tune in next week. Also want to thank for tonight's broadcast the students at Snowflake High School of White Mountain Youth Productions and Show Low TV.
Yeah, and let's thank them now. Technical directors tonight, Nicole Krause, Chelsea Ware. On audio, we had Dimitri Nez and Kevin Baston. Graphics, Julio Juarez, McKenna Legg. And on camera tonight, Eli Martineau, Lisa Nickel, Jessa Hunt, Aubrey Callender, and Braden Neff. And then the student advisor, Denise Westover from Snowflake High School. And then, of course, the general manager, Mel West, from City 4. And you can watch replays of these games on Show Low TV, cable channel 56, Monday and Friday at 7 p.m. and Saturdays at 1:30 p.m.
All right, and of course a big thanks as always to our sideline reporter Brandon Todd for our I can't really call him a statistician, but our executive producer Canyon Smith, for our producer back at the studio Jessica, who did a great job in spite of us. And for our color commentator tonight, Punt Cooley, I'm Mike Granillo saying good night. And we will see you next week. Our final here, the Snowflake Lobos 36, the Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets 7.